Good evening, or overnight, or good morning to some of you. What's going on? Good to see everybody in there. Been a long, long week, but we are here. No doubt, wouldn't miss it for the world. I see everybody's in there. All of the criminals there, so to speak. Let's make sure our audio is working here. Wait to hear it on the other computer, which you guys are hearing. Let's see what happens. Good evening. All right. We are working here. All right. So what's going on, everyone? Good to see everybody in there. Oh, yeah. Let me see. Hope everybody had a good night. Or good week, I should say. Oh, yeah. Let me see. I got everything together here. Oh. Renee's in there. Mimi's in there. Hold on, let me move this thing over. That's better. John Beck, what's going on? Good to see you in there, man. Just close your TV. What's up? James, Mr. James Cragen's in the house. What's going on, James? Let's see. Chestmont is in there. Hey, I guess I'm pronouncing that correctly. Forgive me if I'm not. Douglas D. He says, caught you live. Woohoo! What's going on, Douglas? Glad you caught us. Eric Bauer's in there. What's going on, Eric? I don't think I've seen you in a while. Been busy. Mr. Limey Watcher's in there. What's going on, Limey? Hi, Chris, and all. Hope all is well. I am doing good. I hope you're doing well, Limey. John Sharp says, bonjour, you lot. What's going on, John? Mr. Pete Ferrero's in there. Hello, Chris, and everyone in the chat tonight. Mimi Rex says, Jazeera Crater is a gold mine. You guys don't know the half of it yet. What we seen was just a tip of the iceberg. Just a tip of Jazeera Crater. There's so much more. Just wait, guys. There's so much more. Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. Dennis Johnson, what's happening? Julia Golly, what's going on? Good to see you in there. She's been a very busy girl. John Beck's in there, like I said. Let's see. John Stoller's in there. What's going on, John? CJ Carter. Good day, eh? Oh, yes, it is. CJ, hope you're doing well. Let's get unknown. What's happening? James Dixon's in there. James? What's going on, James? Let's see. Julia says, cool threads, Chris. Yeah, I like that. That's, oh, yeah. Space. Gotta love it. I need my space. What I need is actual clear photos of what's going on Mars. That's what I like to have. Jerry Lahane's in there. What's going on, Jerry? Crow Step's in there. Nice show. Can't wait. I'm glad you're in there, Crow Step. Ricardo Petrazzi, what's happening? Put the metal to the pedal. Put the pedal to the metal, whichever you prefer. Martin Penwright, what's happening? Good to see you there, Martin. Inhabit Mars is in there. What's going on? Good to see you in there. Blue Flash is in there. What's going on there, Mr. Blue Flash? Adam's in there. Hey, Adam. Stephen Porter's in there. Equalizer's in there. Whoops. This thing just jumped on me. I hate it when that happens. You said the Equalizer says streaming you to my TV 2303 here in Kosovo. Sweet. Get that really big one. Like mine's decent size, like a 60-inch, right? It's nothing spectacular, but it's a 4K. And it's more than adequate for the room that I have it in, right? And it's like you watch that on you're like, that's pretty big. Max K, what's going on? Friday fun time. Oh, yeah. Let me see. Renee Von Oosterhood's in there. What's going on? Renee Von, good to see you in there. Whitebeard Sky Daddy, what's happening? John Devon's in there. I haven't seen you in a little bit there, John. Where you been? Probably busy like most of us, going crazy, running around like a bunch of chickens with our head cut off. But yeah, other than that. John McDonald. Greetings, all fellow Mars Anomalies and Beyond followers. Chris, look forward to so interesting new photos. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I got one you guys will not see anywhere else. I don't mean the photo. I mean, everybody can get these. But I'm saying as far as what I found in one of them, it's amazing. And I'm going to get that one knocked out. I was going to, like the other one I actually did 2 of those videos back to back, right? I did those yesterday. One I put on immediately yesterday evening. Some of you guys said, oh, wow, it's like 2 videos in one day because you're like probably 6 or 8, 7 hours ahead of me. But and then I posted this one here early this afternoon, this other one. I was going to do that over the weekend, but I said, oh, no. We got more coming up. So there's much more to dig into. You guys will like it. Matthews Wise says, what will happen in Hangout 100 ET visit? That would be pretty sweet. That would be pretty sweet. Of course, if I'm being abducted, that may not be so sweet. So, you know. They like to do that probing thing. I'm just not down with that. Woohoo, we live again. And I'm early for once. Last 2 videos was mega. And happy Friday just because it's Friday. I hear you, Nacho. What's going on? Good to see you in there, man. Martin Lucas says, managed to get here in time. Yes, you did, Martin. Good to see you in there. Street Shark is in there. Samantha Morris, what's happening? Hello, everyone tuning in from Victoria, Australia. From down under, no doubt. Whoops. Everybody's noticing Julia and oh, wow, she's here. Yeah, like I said, she's been busy. She's redoing her site. She's going to actually have all Antarctica, guys. Nothing but Antarctica. I'm souped. I can't wait. It's going to be the go-to place. All the information, all the new anything coming in is going to go to her site. And just a word to the wise, anybody who's doing these videos on there, please consult with her first before you take any of those photos, because I'm going to say just about all of them have been handed to Sarah/Julia in a course of time, you know, and by a gentleman named Sontag, which is, you know, he works for the NASA/research team. I'm not sure what else he's into, but he's the one that's handing these photos over, and she's good friends with them. They're able to get these photos. So consult with her, or you can be in deep doo-doo, because they're basically almost like a copyright thing, if you will. So just be cautious. You can get the photos. Just ask her first. She'll be more than happy to help you out. And it's just awesome that she's doing that. So kudos to you, Julia, for doing that. Let's see. What's going on, Noodles? Good to see you in there. Disclosure TV. What's happening? I don't know why I keep saying that. That's extra alien team was stuck halfway in the ground dirt soil that crash landed. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. That thing jumped on me again. It said it held your, your comment there. I don't know why. And I'll go back to it because it just jumped on me as soon as I clicked on it. There's that one there. Where'd it go? Josh D's in there. I don't know if I said hello to you, Josh D. Now the damn thing got lost on me. Anyway, yeah. He said there's a crashed UFO that was in the sand and stuff like that. That's that big structure everybody's looking at. We're going to look at that too because, and it's funny because Julia just sent me this email showing about Joe, my friend over at Alien TV, how he did his own pans where he has the stock pan and as well as the basically enhanced, brighter, crappy color taken out of it, so to speak. So we'll be looking at that as well. So yeah, a lot of exciting stuff coming up, guys. I looked at several of these things, and I don't know about you guys, but I've looked at the photos, and I'm disgusted as far as, you go to the site, the raw images from NASA JPL/Caltech, whatever, and it's pink. Am I losing something here? Am my vision go retarded? I mean, anybody else see this? I'm going, what's with the pink crap? So, yeah, we'll have to, do some work, but it ain't going to be too bad. I think we're going to do fine here. We're going to love this. Now, somebody had said to me in the comment section, they said, oh, Chris, why was Jean Ward his photos so much clearer? Here's the thing. It's kind of like going and looking for the moon photos, right? The moon photos, they had like first, second, third, fourth, and I think almost a fifth gen set of photos, right? I like looking at the raw photos, meaning if you want to just call them crappier, we can call it that, because you could see more of the imperfections, and you can see more where they've actually manipulated and censored. Those are the ones I like, because now you can see exactly where they've done it, and it's so much clearer to find it. The new ones are completely done over, looks nice. You'll never see anything in there other than a funky-looking rock. We don't want to see that. I want to see the stuff that's really there, and what they're trying to do is and hide it and everything else. That's why I'm more apt to go after these other ones, because it seems you can just see this a whole lot better, and that's what we're looking for, right? So I like the pristine photos, don't get me wrong, but they're completely benign of anything that's of any value. Of course, you can't really know what these things are anyway, but that's beside the point. It's still, there's nothing worth a crap in those things other than, they look sweet and they're like HD kind of thing. Yeah, well, don't let that kid you. Don't let it fool you. Andrew Munchkin, what's going on? Does NASA say it's on the northern hemisphere or southern? I'm trying to remember if that's still in the equatorial region. I think it's just south of it. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that. I got so many of these photos in my head right now, guys, plus work and all this other. I can't think straight half the time. But don't worry about nothing. Daniel Lee says, Chris, you're the best. I don't know about the best, but we try. We do try. Douglas D., I don't like ETs. Want nothing to do with them. They need to get out of our solar system. But what happens if they put us here? Well, that kind of brings a whole new perspective, doesn't it? Adam, Hangout number 100, NASA tells the truth. We can only hope. That would be sweet. John, yum, yum, blueberry yogurt while I wait. Man, making me hungry. Whitebeard Sky Daddy says, not sure about whether I was abducted, honestly. Well, yeah, they say it's not a pleasurable thing. If you ever seen Fire in the Sky, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Private Tomcat, what's going on? He said, hi from the UK. What's going on? Waving a big old hand over the big pond? What's happening? Let's see. Whoop, this thing just jumped on me. What's going on there, Sean Ward? Good to see you there. Joe Biden, everyone in NASA wears double masks. It muffles the truth. Yeah, kind of filters out the crap that comes out, huh? But good to see you there, Sean. By the way, great video, by the way, the Perseverance. That's awesome. I think everybody's jumping on these things big time, and rightfully so. Everybody's bringing their own perspective to the table, seeing different things. Most of us are seeing the same, which is awesome. It just confirms what everybody's seeing, because it's not everybody's batshit, right? So it's awesome. So, yeah, I'm sure you'll be all over these yourself, and like I'm going to be. Cool. Just awesome. And Albert Moss says, yeah, the texture on the background hills in that photo is blatantly obvious. I hope we eventually get to see what's on the background hills. Well, like I said, I'm going to do one, basically a drop down when the Rover was dropping down. Yeah, wait till you see that one, guys. No doubt they're landing in an area where there are structures. That's all there is to it. And when you see it, you're just going to go, oh, yeah, I didn't notice that at first, because the way they done the photo, it's to fool the eyes, nothing there, move on, have a great day. That's basically what it comes down to. Not so fast, NASA. We're wise to it. So, yeah. I'm going to try to knock that bad boy out as soon as possible. So, James Reagan, thank you very much, sir, for your support. It is appreciated. You said, Chris, man, all of the big guns are here tonight, and I know it's going to be a great hangout again. Great videos this week, man. Hi, Julia. Hi, Jean. Also, yep, what's happening, everybody? Yeah, Pete, you're right about that. NASA said it has 23,000 pics, and all we get is manipulation. Well, hell yeah. You don't really want to see the truth. Like I said, we were all disappointed, right? I was glad to do the live, basically, thing with Perseverance landing and, of course, Ingenuity. And we were like, yeah, this is great. And then let down. That's like, seriously? Talk about a tease, right? But again, it just goes to show you the very first photo, the last thing they wanted to do is let the cat out of the bag and let you see the real deal photo, whether it's blue sky, things in the photo you shouldn't see or they don't want you to see. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason other than that to do that, because even the InSight lander showed blue sky, and it showed, and even though there was kind of speckles on the lens cover, that, you know, these little bits of dust and stuff. Yeah, come on. So I thought it was kind of funny that they did that. It was disappointing at the same time, and I know you guys will agree. But I mean, they ain't fooling nobody. Come on now, it's a bunch of crap. But you know, we're wise to it. We all know. Disclosure TV, thank you much, sir, for your support. I do appreciate it. You know, and I love the idea everybody's on top of these things, like, you know, like a rabid Wolverine, man. They're just on this stuff. And that's the thing. You know, and somebody had sent me a link, and I'm going to show you that too, where they were questioning. It's kind of funny how people were questioning these photos and why it took so long to get here. I think it was Tony P. and maybe somebody else who sent it to me as well, about that same page. So we'll definitely share it. And he's not, I think, it's Tony P that's having a problem putting the links on my page. He said he put it on Jean Ward's and it went right on instantly. Mine getting blocked. Like he can't put anything on there. And that's just weird. A lot of times you'll have times where you can't put an actual link, which I still don't understand, but it happens, right? Either way. Let me see. Tony Gibbs, hey everyone. Chris has been working overtime on these new pics, chock full of, yeah, exactly. We don't know what it is, but there is stuff there. And here's the thing: I've been trying to get these out since we first seen them. I mean, well, the good thing about it is I think we had to jump because we did it on a live feed. Remember that? We were just like analyzing it and stuff. So we actually got to get a piece of that then. And then I was trying to get these videos out, and like I said, it's been chaotic as always at work. But I said, that's fine. I'll knock 2 of them out. I'll get one out yesterday evening and one out today. I don't care. One way or the other, we'll get them out. Let's see. Lee Herring, you said, so your question was, so you think it's the same old crap with NASA? Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt in my mind. No doubt. Jean Ward says, close to the canals, I discovered. It could very well be. Oh, yeah, they're pretty neat. Yeah, keep showing that stuff. Let's get it out, brother. Let's get it out. It's, like I said, I love the idea of everybody's jumping on board and getting these things out, because don't give them an inch. I'm all over these things. And somebody had said, and I've said this before, I have a feeling that rover landed long before the public got to see it. Because there's no way they could come up with now, don't get me wrong, I shouldn't say there's no way. If they have quantum communications, it could be within seconds or less than a minute to transmit a picture to here. Now, if that's not true, meaning they don't have the ability to do that, then they landed there prior to that. And from, like I said, I told you guys before, from our experience, to get the PDSs, it was taking about a month to get these things. You can ask, let's see, Mr. Neville Thompson will tell you that. A lot of times you can get these raw photos, which they're not raw. Come on. Raw means untouched. Nothing done to them. And clearly they're not raw. So you can ask him. He'll tell you it takes the longest time to get a PDS out of these people. I mean, so it's like a month behind. It's crap. So they mess with these photos. And that's just the way they are. That's just the way they roll. So, yeah. Mr. Bushcorey, thank you very much, sir, for your support. He says, best YouTube channel, smash. I sent you Facebook pics. Okay, I'll have to check them out, Corey. I'll definitely check them out for you. Yeah, we'll have a look at it. I don't think I looked at them yet, because I think I looked at them yesterday. Was it yesterday you sent them? Because I know I went through them real quick. I just kind of looked. Somebody had sent them, and there was a notification on my phone. I looked real quick, and it wasn't you. I don't believe it was you. So I'll definitely go back over and check them. I don't really have a whole lot of time to check these things, guys, but I want to be fair, and I want to look at these things for you guys, But, again, thank you very much for your support. I appreciate it. Yeah, somebody's sending me something right now. Carl Martin, as close as I can get. He's talking about it. YouTube straight from NASA. It says, well, thank you, Carl. I don't know if you're actually watching me, but it said keep up the great work. Let me see. William Johnson, what's happening? He said in the landing video you could make out unnatural lines on the landscape below. Oh, yeah, most definitely. Oh, yeah. And you will see that. That's going to be part of the other video. Nicholas Papa is a senior. What's happening? Yes. Mimi reacts. Your question was, do you think we will find more objects in Jazeera crater than anywhere else on Mars? It depends on what they want to show us, really, is what it comes down to, what they're going to allow us to see. So I'd be curious to see that as well. But if they do show quite a bit, and they're throwing us more bones than they did on the other ones, I think they will. I think they'll definitely. I think we'll definitely pull a good amount of the stuff out anyway. I mean, we're already hitting the ground running. We're already pulling stuff out, right? And you can see the manipulation all in these photos. It's actually disgusting, to be honest with you. It's just crazy. Rexy Husky Channel, what's happening? Appreciate your support, man. He said, these are strange days indeed, Chris. Absolutely, they are. It's exciting, but yeah, you go, like I said, again, you get disappointed because you're like, oh, really? Is it the same crap again? But that's okay. Same crap, different flies, or should I say, different area. So I'm glad. I'm happy about that. So that's why I don't mind doing these. I want to jump right into them and loving it. It's like a kid opening up a Cracker Jack box. You never know what you're going to expect. And you can see one thing and then totally miss another and then jump over that and see something else, you know, which is kind of cool. Now, I had one of you guys who was, I don't know if you were mad at me, but there was one guy, I said, how come you don't see, they're talking about like little figures or people on there along that ridge we had looked at, and they said, how come you don't see those, but you see the other structures? Again, my mind seems to be more wired towards mechanical things, towards structures. Some people are wired strictly through, like to see animals, people, things like that. My brain's just not wired like that. Sorry. Just like a lot of people don't see structures and mechanical things. They see animals instead of those. So I guess it's the way you interpret it, the way your brain sees it. But are we both wrong? Are we both right? Nobody can tell, and there's no way to vet it. So that's why you just keep on going, doing your thing. That's it. Blue Flash, you said there's no guarantee NASA scientists can understand alien tech. You're absolutely right. It's kind of like, if that's true about, we got the crash in Nevada. If it's true they back-engineered it, how long did it take them to do that? And now that we have the technology we have today, you can bet we can probably figure it out pretty quick. You know what I mean? As far as what components what. Like if they had back in the day where they had, instead of regular wires, they had fiber optics instead to give signals back and forth to the main brain, if you will, of the spaceship or whatever, then we figured that out pretty quick. Oh, wow, there's light and there's information coming through that. So we were able to figure it out. Now that we have the technology we have, we could probably rip one of those apart and pretty quick and figure it out. So, you know, I often wonder, too, I don't know if you guys ever questioned this. If they did find one, was it crude as far as the way it was made? Now, in other words, nothing fancy, but it was probably metal. We have no idea, you know, what it's made out of, or we do now. And was it super high-tech inside there? Or was it something we would have built back in the 80s, and yet it could still fly? We just had very good knowledge of propulsion, and they could do that. So it makes you wonder, or is it like super spaced out, like, I mean, you could just like put your hands over things and everything would just function, and, you know, kind of crazy stuff. Like kind of, what is it, the Xbox or whatever it is, the Kinetic, you know, stuff like that. You can move your hands. So I'm just kind of curious if it's something similar to that, or is it like just like kind of like we had to do, switch on things, momentary switches, you know, rocker switches, blah, 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 blah. Was it something like that, but just a very good understanding of propulsion? I don't know. What do you guys think? Yes, Renee, you beat me to it. You said there was a binary code in Percy's parachutes that when deciphered read, Dear Mighty Things. Dear Mighty Things. Yes. And I've seen that too, and I think that was pretty cool. It's the way they laid out the colors on the parachute itself. It actually said that, so that's pretty cool. What's going on there, Maduka? Good to see you in there. Yes, and Nicholas Papas, we are going back to the moon. Yes, we are. John Devon, you said, yes, Chris, everyone has an eye for something. We all are different. Glad people like you are doing this great work we all want. Well, and that's what I'm saying. We can, again, different perspectives. Maybe the way our brains are wired, we see it slightly differently. Some people might say, yeah, I see more people than you see mechanical stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. because the idea is to have everybody's eyeballs on these things, right? And just absolutely have a look at these. And let me just slide this over a little bit. So, yeah, absolutely. I think it's great. I think it's absolutely awesome. Uh, 10cc said very dangerous bacteriology, really. Life forms, but with intelligence. Scary. That could be too. We never know what we're going to find there, but I have a feeling it's very similar to what we have here. I mean, it's almost, to me, if I had to guess or take an educated stab at it, it's just like here on Earth. There's going to be very slight differences from Mars. Let's say it was still alive and well, atmosphere still intact and everything else. I think it's almost a mirror image of here what's on Earth. And with some changes, some variances, but other than that, I think it was the same, to be honest with you guys. Tony Gibbs, you said, I never see the people or animals either. Pareidolia is imaging, imaging something mentally and relating it to known stuff. I only know it isn't natural. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. Here's a perfect example. If you've seen this silhouette of the Perseverance, right, but you didn't see any, actual detail to it. In other words, you just seen the silhouette to it. You would say, oh my God, that looks just like the Curiosity rover. And you wouldn't be wrong because it's basically an assisted to it, only with different testing equipment, so on and so forth, right? Better cameras, cough, cough, stuff like that. So, but, when people say, it's just stuff like in the clouds, that's all you're seeing. Really? Because I see outlines of things in the clouds, like you see a puppy or a bunny or whatever. I'm seeing actual details. There's a difference. And a lot of minor details, to be honest. So it's not just I'm just seeing things kind of thing. No. Again, it's only speculation ever because we can't vet any of this. And all we can do is kind of look and say, well, it kind of looks mechanical because you can see what looks like framework or maybe cables or whatever it may be. All we can do is say it looks like that. People need to understand the words. I remember when I first started doing this, people were like, oh, you said it's this. I never said that. I said it looks like this. Now we can confirm it looks more like a structure than anything else or mechanical parts, right? Oops. Mauricio Rocha, what's happening? He said, hello, Chris and everyone. What's going on? Good to see you in there, man. What's going on there, Dave Havery? I'm bouncing back because I hear everybody saying your name or seeing anybody putting your name in there. Do you think NASA will try and trump the Chinese rover and release or make disclosure because I think Chinese might disclose truth? Well, like I said, I honestly don't think either one will spill it because, like I said, there's two, sectors of these space agencies, right? You get the higher ups with the elite, and they're all combined. They're like this giant, let's just put them all in the same room, kind of like we are right now. But these guys are like all the higher ups, the elites, and they know what's going on. That's the top secret part of it, or black ops, whatever. And then below, you've got the PR part of it, like the regular NASA workers, ESA. You got all of these people doing this. So they're all doing the work for the public, and everybody's oohing and ahhing. But what they don't know is that up there, they're just they're all getting together. They're probably working together to get this information. This is the reason why you don't see, you see China going up there first, and then we'll go up there after. So on, they're trading places. And the reason why I can say that is because if you look at the photos from the Chang 4, the Chang 3, absolute garbage. It's just like we see in the NASA photos. Manipulated, censored in some way, some shape. So I don't foresee them spilling it, or unless, of course, there's somebody disgruntled or something of that matter. Other than that, I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah. Casper X, he said, I don't trust NASA. They have a proven track record of lying and covering up things. They could have solid proof of ancient civilization on Mars, but won't show us. Oh, yeah, to me, that's like a given. I mean, based on the photos we've seen, there was definitely a civilization up there. They're just not going to divulge that or let us into it because we're on a need-to-know basis, and clearly we don't need to know. Olin Creel, what's happening? Said, hi, y'all. The censors are desperate. Good for us. Yes, absolutely. John Ward, you said your question was, what happened to the news article talking about the underground base on Mars? Yeah, it's funny how that disappeared. I heard of like a little bit of that and never heard another thing about it. Anybody else have? Because I'd be curious about that too. Dennis Johnson says the 1940s version of the spacecraft, and you can see how they evolved over the years. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, the technology they have, the military and all of these people, the DOD, and, you know, they're jumping by leaps and bounds as far as technology. Even for the public, our stuff is jumping leaps and bounds, right? So, you know, if they're 100, 300 years ahead of us, they've got technology that would, like, it's something you see, like, on Star Trek, right? It's just like, it'd be, like, absolutely insane. Renee Cruz, you said lots of Piercy pics popping up now. I saw one where there are two figures walking on Mars. I said, I saw it. For real. Oh, my God. What the? Yeah, exactly. Jerry Lahane, you said, I can show you a car-sized craft Spirit Rover anti-gravity. Huh. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Sure. Let me jump all the way down to the bottom here. I hope I didn't miss anybody's comments. If I did, just go ahead and say it again. Yeah, you're right about that, Jean. You said NASA will talk about the geology, not the artifacts. How many times have people probably asked you, they said, well, how come the rover's not going over to that particular thing like we're seeing in the background? Guaranteed they did. I mean, absolutely guarantee they did. It's just, you know, they'll claim that, yeah, we don't need to really look at that. And keep in mind, these cameras got like a telephoto lens built into that, basically the mast itself, right? And, you know, these things can probably zoom right into that thing, see every little detail on it. So they don't have to literally drive up to it. That's probably why they put these cameras in there to begin with. So if there's something they can't get to, it's too far away, they can actually take a quick look at it, zoom in, you know, high quality, probably 4K, and it looks great. So you don't even have to go to it to see it. Now, if they want to say, well, let's test it, let's say it's a piece of metal or plastic, shoot a laser at it, you know, see what the composition's made out of, because you can see the smoke, and of course, it can actually basically sniff that and, you know, see what the composition of it is. So, believe me, they're not stupid. They've thought of everything on these rovers. Tony Gibbs, he said they are leaving more stuff exposed on Mars so we can stop watching the ongoing mining of the moon. Or Curiosity. Think about it. Everybody's now spotlighted on Perseverance and not Curiosity. But that doesn't mean we're not going to bounce back and forth here. Equalize, he said, shape, shadow, shine, and silhouette are the giveaways from man-made to natural as per Army skills. No doubt. No doubt. What's going on, Six? Good to see you in there. Thank you for your support, Mr. Planetary Protector. I appreciate you. That's awesome. Actually, everybody's awesome. But let me see. Let me make this a little bit bigger. I always forget to do this. You know, I just hit the... what do you call it, the F11, just make sure all the toolbar, I'm going to make this much bigger and bring up the chat section much better. A lot easier on this one. This computer screen's a little smaller. I think it's 23 and the other one's a 27, so got to make it as big as we can get it. Tony Gibbs says, he observed only half have thumbed up. Come on, guys, let's get with it. Hit that thumbs up. Boom. Let's see. Whoops. Thing jumped on me here. What's going on there, Phil C? Good to see you in there. Karen Montgomery, said, so how good is the descending video, Chris? Stop being a teaser. No, I mean, you can go on there right now in the raw photos and grab these things. You can see a lot of the descending photos. Of course, you can see all the ground on the bottom. And that's basically it. I mean, I just grabbed one, just went like through a dot. Just grabbed one just for the heck of it, and I said, let me just have a look. And, yeah, I was pretty impressed. Pretty cool stuff. Mr. George Mayer, what's going on? He says, Chris, do you think that we will see a small helicopter images as it sees it? If they fly over an area that has nothing on it, yeah. You'll probably see a crystal clear photo of it, and that'll be it. But what I'd like to see, and I know you guys would probably want to see it too, is that thing's way up over the Rover. I don't care if it's 10 feet or 3 meters, whichever you guys prefer. It's way up in the air looking down, but again, they would have to be in a position where there's nothing there to see, or you're going to see like kind of like a blurring around the Rover and everything else. But yeah, I'm kind of curious. I mean, it's supposed to be any day. I think they're supposed to be actually starting to do the first test on that thing, so we'll see, right? Equalizer. Any good hackers out there and get into the cameras? Oops. Robert Morgan said, Chris, I'm late again. I'm setting a specific Friday Hangout alarm. There you go. Well, you're not too late. What are we only into? Yeah, 38 minutes. Not too bad. Long Island, New York. What's going on? $13.95. He said NASA sent secret messages on the Rover. Are you talking about on the plaques itself, or are you talking like a hardware thing? Martin Penray, you asked, do you think the picture quality on Percy improved? They said yesterday it will get a lot better. Yeah, because probably the techniques have got a lot better. You know, I will always look at the little bit less photos, less resolution. And like I explained earlier, because you can see the actual imperfections in there and where they actually did the manipulations. The nice photos are great. They're crystal clear. They look so good, but that's the problem. They've gone over it, and they've done a great job of just going over these photos. And, you know, if you were to say, hey, NASA, and point out something in one of these low-res photos, they'd go, yeah, that's because it's low-res. You're just seeing things. Really? Because I see things in there that look like twisted metal. I see things in there that don't belong there. And they'll say, well, again, you know. But if you look at this pristine photo right here, this crystal clear one, it's beautiful. Whatever. You know, yeah, because you've done everything you can. Probably this new program makes everything look just fantastic, and nothing's there to say, no, I'm good. Neil Welch, you said, fantastic show, Chris. You're doing a great job of exposing what's really on there. Really interesting subject. Thanks from the UK. Well, I appreciate it, Neil. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff. I'm glad they did this. And forget about looking at the photos, right? I think it's just cool that they sent something else up there, different area, and try to get these answers. And it's going to be well, I don't know if I'd call it disclosure, because it's just going to start saying, yeah, we found some microbial life, whether it be fossilized or the real deal. Yeah. And like somebody else had mentioned, you said, this wasn't on this Hangout, but said, yeah, they'll probably say, oh, no, it's something from something we brought there by accident or something. It's like, no. Because what they'll do, they'll drill over and over again. I mean, they may try to use that excuse, don't get me wrong. But they, as far as I'm concerned, if they do believe that, they'll take other, drills, little core samples or whatever they may, do. So, yeah. So we'll see what happens. I'm curious as well. We'll definitely see what's going to happen. Let's see. Yeah, exactly, Jerry Lane. Pristine equals totally doctored. Yeah, because, I mean, you can see the difference. Why is it that we can see some of these things so good? And I don't mean they're low res, but if you don't zoom into them too badly and just use either a magnifier or just zoom in just a little bit, you can see these things pretty well sticking out of there. And suddenly you look at these really pristine photos, and guess what? Thing's not even there. Or it just looks like a little tiny rock all of a sudden. No way. I'm not going for that. Whitebeard Sky Daddy says, off-the-shelf tech, eh? I have a 41 megapixel camera on my ancient Windows phone. Exactly. Software only handles 35. There you go. And like I said, guys, I think they said they got a 20 meg up there, right? You can almost bet it's probably twice that. You can almost bet on it. The larger the photo they can get, the better they are. And if it's pristine, like 4K, these guys are seeing ungodly detail in these photos. They are. John Ward's taking off for now. See you, John. Good to see you in there. Keep up the good work, man. I checked your video out, by the way. Good video. Sombre Reptile, what's going on? Good to see you in there. I didn't see you sneak in there. Yeah. Good comment there, John Pezzola. You said, let's hope all the metal we see is not blamed on the rover pots falling off. Well, people were questioning some of it where they said, well, I wonder if it was part of the actual crane when a lot of that, detached from each other and so on and so forth. And I don't know if you guys seen this too, where I looked at this and I read it like a pot on NASA, I think it was, where, remember we were questioning whether the crane actually goes and lands or it crashes. Literally, they crashed the thing. I'm going, so let me get this right. You can come down, lower down the, slow down, lower the rover down with a crane or cables, get it down to where it's got to go, but yet you have to go crash it? Why don't you just go ahead and land it? What's the point of that? I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird, but I don't know why they do that, but beside the point. Cameron Davis, I'm doing well. How are you? He said, how are you this evening? Doing just great. Thank you. And again, I hope you're doing well. Clerks 93, what's happening? He said 8K. Well, that wouldn't surprise me either. Absolutely. They got the technology. It's out there, right? It's out there. Nokia 1020. James, American needs change. What's up, Chris? AKR's Mars Anomalies. Not much, man. What's up, James? Eric Blair's in there. The U.S. Department of Energy has confirmed there have been UFO sightings over every major U.S. nuclear launch site. Yeah, I mean, this has been going back since, the 50s and 60s. And, of course, they always deny that. Nah, that's not true. It's true. People have seen this with their own eyes. I mean, come on. Oh, awesome. Got a flood watch in effect. Can't wait. Till 7 a.m. It's like 2 to 3 inches of rain. Like, we need more of that. Mimi, yeah, you're right about that. He said, damn, I'm so jealous NASA gets to see the original pictures. Yep. Robert Morgan said, why can't they just give us the high-resolution pictures? Well, if they would give you the high-resolution uncensored, you'd be aware of what's going on. They can't have that. It's all about keeping all that, whatever it may be on that planet, completely under wraps and secret, if you will. Ah, refreshing. John Devon, you said, I work with the off-shelf cameras. The hardware is excellent. What is the software programs that do the work? Exactly, yeah. We only get what they want, not the real pics they have. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, because in the software itself, right, we can bring it down. I don't care if it's a 40 meg camera, right? We can bring it down to 1. And we'll take that picture in 1 meg, give it to the public. We'll take the one in 40. We have that one for ourselves, full color, 4 to 8K. Doesn't matter, 4 or 8. And we'll give them, maybe 480. What the hell? So you get to see that, and it's just like, wow, that's complete trash. It's exactly what they want you to see. So now we have to go in there, throw it into Photoshop, put 300 DPI into it, blow the things up, do all kinds of work, just to get what we can get out of them. So, again, these guys are not stupid by any stretch of the means. They know what they're doing. Nicholas Pappas, you said, yeah, you're right about that. Society would collapse. Or would it? We've talked about this many a times where a lot of people would be like, I want to know more. And then some people are like, oh, God, I'm scared. You know what I mean? Of course, they're trying to, I don't know why they don't take polls of this stuff. Like, would you be freaked out? Would you not be freaked out? Of course, everybody here would be like, tell me more. Or we already knew that, tell me more. So I'm wondering if they've ever taken a poll. And I think I've seen some of them where they were like a 60-40 thing. Most people would probably be freaked out. I don't know why. because they'd have to understand if we were going to get killed off by some other alien beings, would have been done a long time ago, right? Interesting. Robert, you said because they don't want to leave an escape means for the future American astronaut like in The Martian. Predictive programming. Yeah, that could very well be too. Guillotine Press, you said, does Percy have some kind of self-destruct? I don't believe it does, but as sophisticated as that thing is, you could bet it has some kind of, I don't know if it can use the laser that it has to actually shoot at things. I don't think it's going to be like things like it's bombarding it or anything like that, but if it had to, could it do that? It is fully autonomous, so is it set up to even do something like that? I'm going to say no, but that doesn't mean that they haven't done that, right? I don't know. What do you guys thought on that? What do you guys think? James Cragen said, Chris, just going off the Mars issue for a moment, check out Paul Stonehill, research into Russia and its huge documented evidence on the USO and UFO phenomenon in the Arctic region. It's worth a look. I've seen some of them similar to that where they talk about underground bases and everything else. There's another photo, too, that somebody had sent me, and I don't know who it is off the top of my head because I think I have it on the picture, but I'm going to be sure. And in fact, I'm going to send that over to Julia, see what she thinks of it. They have maybe other snapshots of it. It clearly looks like structures sticking right out of the hillside. I mean, it's almost as blatant as can be. So we're going to definitely touch base with her and have a look, and maybe they have a different photo of it. This was actually taken from, somebody did a snapshot from a video that somebody had done. I think it was Antarctica in 4K or something like that. So I like to be able to do that one as well because that thing is cool. You can just see this thing right out of the hillside. It's like built right out of it. So, and I don't believe if it's a video and it was taken by people on a ship or something like that, because it looks like that level, right? And if it's on these mountainsides, it looks as real as can be. That's why we'll pass it to her and see if she has other photos or other angles of it and see what happens, right? But, I've seen some of them, James. Yeah, pretty cool. HSTOS1AV said, we would love to have a Motorola Power PC again. Yeah, those are pretty cool, weren't they? Next OS became iOS. Yep. Yes, indeedy. Terry Morris, you said, hi, Chris. I am pleased that we have drones with cameras, rather. This means they can take high-res photos over longer distances and especially photos with Rover in shot so we can measure depth and distance. Well, that's what I'm hoping, too, that we can see, if they say like it's 3 meters above it, so 10 feet, what kind of resolution. And again, keep in mind, guys, that the Ingenuity also has its autonomous as well. So it must have sensors on it, can fly, do this, do that, and then come back down to ground zero, if you will. Because if it's anything like the regular drones we have, you have to like set it up and tilt it and everything else, and so you can tell it this is your spot to land and take off from. So will it use that same spot all the time and just take off, go a certain distance, get pictures from wherever it needs it, come back to that same point? I'm kind of curious about that. I haven't read or seen anything about that. Maybe you guys have, and you can respond to that. I'm just kind of curious because if they say, okay, this is exactly ground zero, will it be flying in every single direction, checking these things out, and then coming back? Because it's one thing to say doing test, but it's doing more than just test. Come on. This thing's probably, even if it went up way up in the air over to something they really wanted to see, they got great photos of it, look fantastic, and it crashed, they probably don't care. Maybe it's something they wanted to see that they seen from the MRO, but they wanted to see it so close up that they really wanted to see this thing. Now, 4-foot swath from the MRO is, or the high rise on the MRO, is pretty darn small from orbit, right? So, but if they can get more detail from that little copter, that would be pretty sweet. Renee Cruz, is it 180 days yet? Yeah, what is this supposed to be, in June or July? I forget what they said it was supposed to be. I'm just going to jump over here real quick and then back down. Linda Borum, he said, sorry I'm late, Chris. I was just watching your latest video. Very interesting. Well, hey, better late than never. Glad you're here. All right, let me just jump way down here again, back down. Oops. Oh, is he really, Julia? Okay. Yeah, I'll send you the photo anyway, just so you can get an idea. Just so you can confirm it is the one you're talking about, or we're both talking about. So, yeah, if that's true, then it's crap. But I haven't seen the video, truthfully, so I want to check it out myself. In fact, you can see it on the bottom. It shows, and I don't remember the person's name right off the top of my head, but because there's several videos I've seen in 4K and so on and so forth. So I'll send it to you, and you can tell me what you think. And if it is, then good. At least we established that. Tony Gibbs, you said they are removing the stuff as soon as it gets exposed. Sarah predicted this long ago, and the steady coming and going of supply ships is very telling. Well, like I said, yeah, she's seen this coming a long time ago, right? And she knew that there was a lot of lava tubes underneath Antarctica. Of course, it's melting the ice. And, of course, you've got, well, the temporary global warming, because it goes through cycles all the time. Every 11 years, it goes through a cycle. Between that, complicated with or coupled with these lava flows, yeah, I mean, absolutely. And when I told you guys there was a video, was that other one that was kind of fake in the beginning where it had that weird shape in there and everything else. But it did show the helicopter flying over these large ships going in and out of these ports of Antarctica. And these things have huge bulkheads. What are they putting in these bulkheads? You know, if they're up there researching simple, like, core samples, which I believe they are, and there was other scientists up there, I showed you that, where they were independent, but I think they were just scientists and geologists went up there and had this core sample, and I think it was a news page I showed you guys, where you can see like it's all ice. All of a sudden it gets to this muddy layer, and then all kinds of organics. That's how they knew that Antarctica was a very plush island or continent at the time. So, yeah, it was basically like any other place on Earth, like the Amazon. They even said it was like kind of like the Amazon at one point. So, yeah, I mean, these guys are not stupid. They're seeing these things. Listen, get whatever you can off this this area. Get it off here. Let's go hide it, whatever. And if you find the rest of it, who cares? I guess they would. But maybe they're dismantling it. Who knows? I don't know. But either way, they're not up there with these large ships with these huge bulkheads just to bring back the core samples. Come on now. This thing that jumped on me or what? Here, let me just see. That reminds me, I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is pretty cool. Well, this is off the beaten path, but if you guys like music and stuff like that, get this app. This is cool. This is like, it's called Radio Garden. Go on your app. It's on, regular, Android as well as iOS. If you like music, you can get it from all over the world. That's brainwave radio. That's from. Tudorville, Florida. But there's so much in here. All these little green dots are radio stations. Get them from all over the world. I don't care if it's right here in Ireland, Italy. I don't care where it is. So there's one up here in Canada that I listen to. It's actually it's a classic alternative rock channel, which is awesome. So the Clash, all kinds of stuff like that, the Smiths, anything like that. Really, really good stuff. Off the beaten path, but I just wanted to show you that. It's called, like I said, it's called Radio Garden, and if you look at it, it says Radio Garden Live. You get that, and you can just zoom into any one of these, just any one of these dots, and it'll bring you to a different channel. So if you like different other languages, or and the other thing is too, which is crazy. Let me see. That was over. You can see it's trying to get into one of these channels, but you can see some of these little islands right here. Just cool stuff, man. It's all any of these green dots. So I was in Portugal. Anyway, so if you like the kind of stuff, yeah, I mean, it was a buddy of mine that turned me on to it. He's like, yeah, I'm getting rid of Pandora. I mean, there's so much to listen to. Anyway, just wanted to pass it along to you guys if you're into that. Check this out. Mystery life forms have been found in hostile darkness beneath Antarctica. Look at this thing, guys. Are you serious? What is that? The waters below Antarctica are amongst the most inhospitable environments on our planet, or so we thought. It's pitch dark and the temperatures are sub-zero, yet when scientists drilled through the Antarctica ice shelf from light or warmth, they found a seafloor boulder that's home to several species we may have never seen before. Interesting. And you can see these right here. Look at some of the growth on these rocks. And you can see right here, British Antarctica Survey. These are the ones that brought it to us. And you can see there's no ads in there because I use ad blocker. Keep that crap out of there. And you see these up close again. Look at these things. What the? And you can see right here. Really, really cool stuff. I thought that was just interesting. Just that thing alone, man. That's just cool. Yeah, what you thought you didn't know jack. This is what I'm saying. A lot of times we think we know it all, but we don't have a clue. I mean, they're saying things, oh my God, we haven't even seen these things before. So they put this camera, you can see right here, being lowered down the borehole, and, this is what they found. This is one of these creatures that was swimming around down there. It's pretty cool. Maduka, it's called, let's see. Where'd it go? Radio Garden Live. I don't know why they call it Radio Garden. Maybe because there's so many of these things around, you can kind of go to each thing. But it's called Radio Garden Live. So when you see it, it'll look like, I think, Earth on there. It looks like a little Earth. But there's two of them. At least when I went on the iOS, it says Radio Garden, then it said Radio Garden Live was the second one. So, so really, really interesting. Check it out. Pretty cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was familiar with those, Julia. You said fauna growth on the rocks. It's on my site. Yep. But still, some of these little creatures swimming around, it's just really, really cool. It's like the Marianas Trench, right? I told you guys about this before. When they finally get to the bottom, they see things swimming around. Crazy things. They never thought in a million years they see swimming around and crawling around the bottom. And, of course, none of these things have eyes because they need sunlight and everything. And, of course, they don't get any sunlight down there. And even in Antarctica, remember I told you they had like these bioluminescent kind of creatures that look like blue and green lights flashing and everything else, and just crazy stuff down there. But most people say, no, it's far too cold, or the ocean's far too deep, or whatever it may be, depending on what part of the world you're in. And yet, we don't know jack. We think we do. We're learning every darn day, and that's cool. That's true. HDOS 1AV, you said a silicon-based life form or life form wouldn't need light, heat necessarily, just electron exchange. True. Cyberpunk, what's going on? Didn't even see you sneak in there. He said, just got the Radio Garden app. Pretty cool. Yeah, I like it because you can just jump over to anything you want. Now, the other cool thing about that app is that if you go to a certain, like I said, I was born and raised in Rhode Island, right? So if you look at that and you go, man, I don't even see my radio stations in it. There's a few, but you can literally go on the app and you can actually request a station. So they will actually get that on for you. They'll let me see here. They will literally get it for you, and they'll put it on there. So I thought that was cool too. Jesus is my King 68. You said you'll find Radio Garden on internet as well. Yeah, right here. I got it all right there. So it's pretty cool. I mean, you can back way out there, and this thing's got everything. Look at them. Look at the stations in here.
So pretty in the sky.
Oh, okay. So really, really cool. That was Myrtle Beach. I lived down there for about 1.5 years, 2 years. So, yeah. What do we got on here? Oh, that should have been, what do you call it? That should be Iceland right there, yeah. Pretty sweet. Of course, you can't go too crazy with these things because you'll get copyrighted. Can't have that. Playing the music. Third phase of moon. What's going on? He says, so much unknown life to be discovered in Antarctica. Keep up the good work. I appreciate it, third phase. You guys are doing fantastic work over there as well. Keep it up. And, you know, there's so much to see there, and we're just going to keep bringing this stuff out. Why does this thing keep going off on me? So, yeah, we'll just keep plugging at that, and, of course, all of the stuff that's going on with our new Perseverance rover and all that other good stuff in there. Let me see. What's going on, Nick? Good to see you in there, man. It's a great channel, Chris. Always glad to hear from you, Nick. You've been around since, how long now? We had a lot of heavy hitters in here tonight. Third phase of moon's in there, too, now. Sweet. Ziggy Stardust. Yes. Rexy Husky Channel said, how about Ziggy Stardust and Spiders from Mars? Yes. Good old David Bowie. Dr. Z. Smith. Hello, wonderful persons. What's happening, Dr. Z? Elaine Millard's in there. What's going on, Elaine? Good to see you in there. There you go, Jean Bjork. Is she still making music? I know I used to listen to her back in the 90s. Almost definitely. 6, that's a great question. I'm trying to remember now off the top of my head. He said, Chris, have you seen the 900-mile-long dragon over like Morocco, I believe? I'm almost positive I heard something about it, but to be truthful with you, to go in there and research it and study, no, I haven't. I heard somebody mention that. Other than that, that's the extent of it. Oops. Ricardo, he said, low down on the polar ice melt. The quicker it melts, the more fresh water gets into the oceans, disrupting thermal balance and cooling oceans overall. This leads to the onset of the next glacial period. It is, and some of them are actually saying that we're starting to head into the next, basically, global freeze, right? Or the next ice age. Of course, I don't think it'll happen within a year or two, but yeah. Third phase of moon says, hey, everyone, in the chat, good to see everyone. Well, I'm glad you stopped in. Michael Stark, he said, what's up, Chris? Happy Friday, everyone. Yeah, Michael, good to see you there, man. Lone Villain Grows. Coffee camels, a bowl, and a space talk. Life is good. Yeah, I don't know if Third Phase has done any checking out the new landing site and Jazeera crater on there, but real interesting stuff coming up. We're going to be doing, just put out a couple videos yesterday and today, and got a good one coming up. It's probably going to be over this weekend on Monday, and no doubt it's going to show what they've been trying to hide in the landing site or around the landing site, that there's actually structures there. There's actually structures there. So, yeah. Definitely be knocking that thing out as soon as I can. Yeah, you can do that. Yep, absolutely. Third phase. Yep, Mars Anomalies at AOL.com. My kids are like, you still use that? It's like, why not? It's still an email, isn't it? Martin Penray, you said global warming going back. No going back, rather. I mean, it'll still, it goes through changes. You know what I mean? It'll go through the ice age, and then, of course, the ice will retreat. This is not, I was going to say not rocket science. Of course it's not. But you know what I'm saying, right? It's kind of like, what was that? What was that movie? You guys know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm getting at. The Day After Tomorrow, where, they had this, basically ice age comes on. But it's like, boom, almost instant within weeks. And then, of course, it just reset itself. The planet reset itself, and it started to recede a little bit. It stopped, so on and so forth. So it'll gradually come on, gradually come back off. So, because, again, every 11 years we have this solar cycle. And, of course, we have global warming. And it's not global warming. It's every planet in our solar system warms up. So this is not just Earth. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. And so even if we did go into one, keep in mind it's every 11 years, so it would actually warm up parts of the Earth and it wouldn't all be in ice. So, which is kind of good to hear. Oh, okay, Six. You said, yeah, it's huge. Roger Spur at Mud Fossil University at YouTube. Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to check that out. Jesus is my King 68. You said, global warming, you say. Where? Check it out. Every 11 years it peaks. And anybody who's been into radio like I have knows that. Because every 11 years at its peak, the sun has a lot to do with it. It has a lot to do with the ionosphere. You can transmit it, every band opens up. You can talk all around the world. And it comes up gradually. I think we're only in the second year of it. So, in other words, right now it's cold and everything else, but it slowly builds up to 11 years, and, we'll end up with, it warms every dawn planet in the solar system. Happens every 11 years. I believe we are starting getting into it, Julia. You're right. You say we are in it already. It takes about 10,000 years to run in. Breaking Bigfoot. Oh, break them in. Love your enhancement, sir. Well, I appreciate that. I like that, what do you call it? That name there, by the way. Breaking Bigfoot. You guys are rapping back and forth here, so. Tony Gibbs, so he said, so many of the Mars pics seem to have objects not paying attention to gravity. Well, no, it has gravity there. It's just not as much as Earth. But in a lot of this stuff, if it's embedded too, and it's not likely to just fly off the planet, right? So, you've got gravity on there, so it's not a big deal. But my biggest thing has always been with the rover, like we were talking about the wheels, right? And how the Curiosity is basically its wheels are being shredded. And like I said, when you got a vehicle that weighs about a ton, give or take 100 pounds, I think it is, maybe even 150. But let's call it a ton. And like I said, if you calculate the actual gravity on Mars and then divide the 6 wheels into that, so on and so forth, that's your weight of each wheel. I can't imagine that things being torn to pieces like that. Now, don't get me wrong, it's been there since 2012, so at least the Curiosity has. So we're talking 8 years, 9 years, So quite a bit of wear and tear, but this thing's crawling at a snail's pace. Again, I can understand boom, hitting, X amount of spot, that one spot over X amount of rocks. So finally it'll puncture a hole, but these things are literally shredding these things. So, but like one of you guys had said before, well, you got the heat, the cold, and it'll make the wheels brittle, which it can do that. But if it's tempered, I don't know how they actually put these things together and what's the temper on these things. Maybe they're taken into, maybe they calculated into making this metal, in as far as when they made those wheels. So I don't know. MG Toe, what's going on? Good to see you in there, man. Okay, third phase, you said I sent you the information. You sent you the information and video I received this morning. Check it out and let me know what you think. I will. I definitely will let you know. MG Toe says, thumbs up, everyone. Blue Flash. Mars aliens prefer hiding in plain sight. See, again, like I said, I never see them. I don't know if my mind's just wired to see mechanical and structural. Maybe because, like I said, I've always, I was a tool setter for like 13 years. So maybe that's all I've seen. And I was always working on my cars. And maybe it's more mechanical I'm wired than anything. Maybe that's why. Disclosure TV said there's so much amateur research going on about UFOs on Mars that needs to be compiled to show proof. Yeah, I mean, one thing, and I know people have said this a million times, and I know they heard this a million times in third phase. It's funny because, in today's society, even a simple iPhone, it has the technology to take really good photos, and they always look like they've been taken with a friggin' potato. And it's really sad that it's like that because, I just want to get them crystal clear photos, and of course we know that these can be CGI'd nowadays. They can be, and these things can be done really, really well. So you got to be careful with them things. Jesus is my King 68. You said yes. Oh, years encrusted, metallic parts. That's what I think. Some of them are just like half in the ground, half out. Or just kind of encrusted into the stuff. Maybe it's partially rusted. Who knows, right? John Pizzola, you said, great question. You said they wouldn't keep, well, not question, but you said a good statement, rather. They wouldn't keep sending rovers if there was nothing to see. And I've stated that a million times. Listen, again, they've already known this since the 70s, probably earlier than that, where, they've done soil samples. They know darn good and well that there was microbial life there. And even some scientists still argue this point to this day. But the fact is there was found back then. So what are they there for now? So like I said, if there is structures there in Jazeera crater, like there is in, I'm so trained on Jazeera now that I'm thinking, Gale crater, that just like we see remnants there, if there are in Jazeera, think about it. Let's do some soil samples. Wouldn't you want to know everything there is to know about these people? And I think we talked about this in the last Hangout. I would want to know everything there is. Okay, we know what their technology is. We know what their structure was like. Maybe they got transportation. Who knows what it is? Okay, now we want to know what these people ate. What kind of organics were on this planet? Was it a lot like Earth? Was it not? What was the differences between them? So now when they see these and they're going to do these core samples, you might just see mud, rock, stone, and then all of a sudden organics, because a lot of those rivers pooled into that Jazeera crater, right? Or what's a crater today? It was probably a large lake bed or whatever it might have been, maybe part of the ocean, because there was a really large ocean on Mars at one time. If that happened, all the sediment came down, so there's going to be quite a bit of sediment, and then, of course, you're going to get into the actual gravel and then, of course, your organics. So it'd be interesting to see that. Hey, Miss Haird, how's it going? Good to see you in there. Dale Rogers, what's happening? You said sandblasted also. Yes. What's going on, Mars, the Second Genesis? You said, hey guys, just to let you know, I'll be doing my first X3D video on my channel. Should be uploaded by the beginning of next week. Awesome. Anybody who hasn't subscribed to him, check him out. Mars, the Second Genesis. Just a little up from the bottom of this chat section, you'll find him. Jezebel Crater, there you go. Oh, it's like I said, and now you get like your mind so like funneled and channeled into one area now because you're like, Perseverance, Jazeera. What was the other rover again? You just start, because I'm seeing so much potential in these photos that yeah, it's kind of like you just kind of push curiosity aside, which maybe that's what they want you to do. So we'll definitely be bouncing back and forth to check them out. And Herbert Mars, you may be right. He said, I think the NASA photos are taken with Flintstone cameras. Remember the bird who would actually and make like it would just like etch in a photo or an outline of something on a stone? That was pretty funny. Disclosure TV said, that's what I keep saying. Why send 4 rovers, 2 satellites, and a helicopter and spend billions on a dead planet if nothing's there? Plus, they are already planning another 2026 mission to collect samples. Well, keep in mind, they're supposed to actually send those. They're saying they might have like a small, like a rocket or something like that. It's supposed to collect them all and shoot them back out into space or send them directly back to Earth. But again, if they have a spectrum analyzer on this Perseverance rover like they do the Curiosity, then they already know what the composition of the soil is. Now, I'm not sure why they would need to have it here to double check it, but for whatever reason, whatever. But there's much more on that planet. We have Russia over there now. We've got China. We got ESA. Of course, ourselves, meaning NASA. And how many others are in this? And not to mention the other countries that had a part to play in this, to building all of this stuff. Okay? So, yeah, this... Again, look up missions to Mars, and it goes all the way back to the 50s and 60s. A lot of failed, never even left Earth, never left their orbit, flew by Mars, just kept going instead of actually stopping and going into the orbit. And then finally we did get there. So there was quite a few, and it was quite, many of them that actually went there. So check that out. There's a lot there. And for what reason? Like you said, it's a cold, dead, barren planet. Nothing there to see, right? And yet, that's not the case at all. Let me see. I'll let you guys chat here amongst here for a little bit. Check something out. Let's see. Still not sure what that means. I was just looking that up. Is that Ilko Georgi? Is that what that is? Hello, Chris. Sorry for being late. Greetings from the Ukraine. What's going on, man? Good to see you in there. I just looked that up. I don't know if that's like a crude Google, translation, whatever it is, but yeah. Ricardo Petrozzi says, aim to get 150 thumbs up, folks. Oh, yeah. Let's hit it. Hit it good. Let me see. Well, Dennis Johnson, you said negative 44 in Saskatoon. Global warming. Well, keep in mind, if we are on the very low, the beginning years of that 11-year cycle, you are going to be cold. There's no doubt about it. And then it will start to get warmer and warmer as the 11 years ramp up, and it will start to be global warming all over again. And what they mean is it's not like a total bad thing. In other words, again, every planet in the solar system heats up. Just look it up. Some of these guys go way overboard with it. It's like, global warming, we're all going to die. It's like, if it does end up like that, none of us here will be here. We'll all be compost. Don't worry about it. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. It's going to take a while before that happens. And even if it did, I don't think we'd have to worry about it. We'd be able to survive it. I almost promise you that. Gary Gleed, thank you very much for your support, sir. I do appreciate you. He said, hey, good show as always. Do you know when we will get to see the pictures from the drone on Mars? They're supposed to be doing it very soon. Now, I don't know exactly what time date. Anybody else can, verify that at all, or at least know? Because I've looked this up, and they've said that it's supposed to be starting soon. They're supposed to announce it. So, and it's supposed to be supposed to be a 4 or 5 flight series, like just simple up and down. Then it's gonna go up side to side, come back down, and then I guess they're gonna really try it out, like try distance and everything. But I think they've already had that thing. It's already flying. They're already taking pictures and everything else. And then they're going to show the public, oh, wow, this is what we've been doing, checking these little quick little test flights. And I think they've already started it, guys. If this thing's autonomous already, okay, put it down on the ground. Comes down from the belly of the rover. The rover moves over. This thing takes flight. It's autonomous. What is there to do? They've already tested it here on Earth. So all they're going to do is, okay, they go to lift off. It doesn't lift off. What do? It just keeps, who knows, maybe this thing's smart enough to say, okay, keep adding RPM to the rotors until you can finally lift off, just like any helicopter would, right? Does it automatically. It knows when it's leaving the ground. It knows how much to, speed or the RPMs on these rotors to get it to lift. I mean, I think there was like 2,800 was, they said 23 to 2,800 was the optimum. That's what they're thinking it'll be at. So if that's the case, then this thing knows, man, come on. I think this thing's already done some tests. It's already taken pictures, and they already got them. Again, Gary, thank you very much for your support, man. Elaine Millard sent you a message there. I just it said it was held for review. Dennis Johnson, check out. Then, of course, she left you the, the address to that webpage. So check it out. 6, he said, it's like every 10 or 11 years the sun goes through its growing stages, basically. It gets back to normal before too long. Yeah, I mean, it just does that. It's something that it does every 11 years. So it's nothing out of the norm, right? Colleen Barnes, what's going on? Good to see you in there. He said, I think we get to see more now with the Rover, but I think it is because they can control more CGI, etc. Yeah, I think they've got a lot better CGI and programs to actually just cover this all up, make it look really smooth and nothing there to see kind of thing. But I kind of like the idea of like the lower res, a little bit lower res, not the garbage, the little, thumbnail type. But I mean, the ones that are a little bit worse than the actual nice photos, right? The high res. I prefer those. Ian, you said hyperdimensional physics, the huge hexagon on Jupiter, etc. Yeah, that was interesting in itself, and that's been there for, I think, since if I'm not mistaken, they said it's been there for 400 years since they've been actually observing it. So 400 years, get that. So they know that thing's been there, and it still churns and everything else. I think there's much more to it than that, than just a storm, as they claim it is. Yeah, I don't know if you guys seen that. It's a great question and comment, Andrew Munchkin, you put on there. Mars is about 140 million miles from the sun. The sun would look much smaller in the Martian sky than it does on Earth. What's your opinion on that? Well, here's the funny part. As far as the sun goes, they showed a photo, and I don't know if this was the dust was in the air, and I don't remember the caption underneath the photo, but this thing was pretty darn large in the sky. The actual rover took a photo of it, and it was pretty darn large in the sky. That's why I'm saying, guys, I don't believe that. I don't think it was a moon, because they're very small, right? So I'm trying to think. I'm saying I have to go back to that photo, try to find it again. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's big old darn thing right in the sky. I mean, you can see this thing's pretty darn big. I'm going, okay, why is it so large? So makes you wonder. And if it is that large in the sky, at least the way the rover's seeing it, I don't know if it was zoomed in. I don't think that it was. But if it was, that would explain it. But if it's not, then what the hell? I mean, that's what it comes down to, right? So, and like I said, if it doesn't have much of an atmosphere, then it should warm up just like Earth, even if it's farther away. It should be getting more heat to the planet because there's less to filter the heat out, right? I don't know. me see. Mars the second Genesis, he said there's massive hydro tubes and distribution network where Percy is. I think that's what the sample tubes are for. I will be doing a Percy 3D special soon. Unbelievable stuff. Yeah, I mean, well, they're trying to take these, maybe they're more of a core sample than they are just a dirt sample, right? In other words, they're going further into the ground and really digging these things, and they're trying to see if there's organics there. That's why I can see why they would want to send them back. But still, it's got a spectrum analyzer on board there, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it does. In fact, I'm almost positive it does. And if it does, it can do its own samples. Then they're going to put the dirt, okay, once it's sampled, they're going to put it in these tubes and throw them on the ground. What? So right in the middle of the radiation, which won't, screw up that sample at all, right? But we'll find out. Yep. Even Ricardo, you said that, yes, the sun does look smaller. Mm-hmm. John Shea, what's going on? Good to see you there. He said, evening. Hope you're all well. We are. Thank you, John. I hope you are too. Yes, Ricardo. I follow him as well. Suspicious Observers. Good channel. He said, if you want to learn more about solar dynamics and the solar polar magnetic reversals every 11 years, go to Suspicious Observers channel. Excellent channel, by the way. And he does a lot of forecasts talking about because of the interaction with the sun, you get, of course, more storms, quakes, the whole 9 yards. Really good channel. Yeah, I agree with you. Exactly, H. Dawes. You said the Phobos is only 15 miles across, that's what I'm saying, is as large and round or spherical as that was in the sky, there's no way that was one of the moons, right? Yeah, I'm on the fence about that, Disclosure TV. You said, Chris, have you seen the video, I think from 2014, that shows that the STS crew may have already visited Mars? I'm not sure if it was debunked or not. But do you think man has visited Mars? There are some that claim that. Back in 1966, they said some of the astronauts that would have went to the moon, some of them went to Mars. I can't vet any of that, but that's what was said. I'm always 50-50 on there until I actually get, confirmed confirmation about it. Other than that, I don't really say, yeah, absolutely, until I really know. And of course, I can make mistakes. You guys know that. But I'd rather get more information on it than say yay or nay. But I did see that. It did look kind of realistic, I got to admit. What did they go there? Again, there was more sources saying that they have been there since the 60s, so could very well be. I got no way to confirm it, though. Terry, you said, but if you look at the sun through solar glasses, it's much smaller than it looks through just eyes of camera. Well, you got to remember the light coming off. We're going to use the ball itself, right? You got much more light coming outward. So when you wear the glasses, you got these, what do you call this? Well, I'll call them solar glasses, yeah, too. When you put it on, of course, you're cutting through that light and you're actually seeing a much smaller sun. So, yeah. Oops. Hate it when this thing jumps. All right, Julia. Thanks for being here. Thanks for stopping in. Always a pleasure to have you in there. I will be in touch. I'll give you that photo when I see you. You said I have to jet and go shopping with my mom. Please tell everybody I love them all, and I shall catch you all later. All right, Julia. Have a good one. Much love to you, and we'll see you soon. Very busy young lady, that's for sure. Nalacious. I guess that's how you pronounce it. If I'm not, please correct me. He said, I watched that report. Okay. Let me see here. Somebody else just said something along that. He said, one if the mission is public and one that isn't public. Oh, I'm sure there is. I'm absolutely sure there is. Again, if you're talking about these higher-ups and these black ops and these missions and all this other stuff, they're well aware of all this. They've probably been there for all I know. If they can go to the moon back in 59, in what do you call it? Or, go to, well, it's basically late 60s, but they actually had, and I'm trying to remember what this was. That's what I'm confusing about it. There was reports that they went back in the 50s to the moon at one point. I can't confirm that either. But, if they've done this, listen, again, if they can go to the moon, and they probably tried prior to that, meaning go to other missions, then they just did this as a PR thing. Oh, look, we can go to the moon. This is so great. And, of course, the astronauts weren't too happy about it. So I don't know what the deal was with that. I say they've seen something on the moon they shouldn't have seen or didn't want to see, and it pretty much scared the pants off them. And they weren't right since then. Some of them were okay, and some of them went into hiding, right? I've seen that, Max K. Yeah, you said, Chris, I talked to a few American people who said that the snow felt weird and it didn't melt when burnt, just melted like plastic. Yeah, you get those little plastic like styrofoam balls kind of thing. It depends too. I get that. We'll get that every now and then here, where it's like it depends on the moisture in it, right? Pretty weird, but it'll kind of feel that way too. Phil C., great question. On the photos of Earth taken from the moon, shouldn't Earth appear bigger than what it is? I mean, it looks the same size as the moon does from Earth, but since the Earth is 8 times bigger, it should look, and I guess you're saying bigger as well, right? Well, here's the thing. Again, if you're on the moon, now the moon looks much bigger. Think about it. If you're on Earth, of course, it looks a whole lot smaller because it is anyway. But because you're on Earth, it looks so much larger. Now put yourself on the moon. Like, when you're looking at the moon from a distance away, it looks absolutely tiny in the sky, depending on, what phase it's in and whatever else. But if you were to go to the moon and step onto the moon, suddenly you're on the moon. It's so much bigger now because you're there. So the Earth, you go, why does it have that weird look to it? And that's why. It just has that, it's perception. It's just the way you see it. But if you're on the moon itself, suddenly it's much, much larger. And you go, why does the Earth, shouldn't it look a whole lot bigger? Well, you're on the moon, so it's huge because you're standing on it. So it has that weird look to it, yeah. Ian, you said, weird how we keep sending rovers to Mars, but the moon, which is so much closer, gets ignored. Maybe there's some truth that the humans were warned off to stay off the moon. No, actually, there's a lot more missions going on than you think. First of all, we get the LRO, which has been there for years, right? I think since 2009. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But there was other crafts there mapping it out too. We've been there. China's been there. And I'm trying to remember if ESA took a stab at it, or at least a orbiter. But we at least know those two there. And that's the ones we know of, the public knows of. That doesn't mean they stopped. So, excuse me, you can bet there's a lot more missions I have going there. Now, this was sent to me, and I think it was Tony P., and I could be wrong because I think one or two people sent this to me. But you can see right here, it says an image, just underneath here, it has this caption, an image from the surface of Mars taken by Perseverance and released by NASA the day after landing. The lack of more such images from the mission, a break with past Mars missions, has been a source of frustration for some people. And you can read this thing. It says, it's like there was a delay about it. They're wondering what's going on. Yeah. So it says Friday night came and went. And this is when they had the landing, right? On Saturday morning, space fans were frenetically hitting that F5 button, only to be disappointed by the fact that the website had not been updated with the promised new photos. And if it hits another promise they broke too, do you guys remember that when they said, oh, by the way, there's 2 microphones on the Perseverance rover. We were going to hear this thing descend. We never heard that. In fact, they talked about that. So, yeah, we were supposed to put the microphone on, but we didn't. Really? Oh, let me get that. Just skipped your mind, right? Yeah. You guys can read this whole thing. But basically, they were just wondering what's going on with these photos because, like, the InSight was pretty much right there. And then they started putting the photos on the site right off the bat. Even I was doing that. I'd keep going to the site and refresh the page, and for some reason, the new ones weren't there. They would put them in different other places. So, yeah, it was a little weird, right? Let me see here. This one here. This was basically the pan that Percy just did, I think. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, get it way up there. That's a shear, and of course, yeah. There you go. I'm not going to put the sound on because of, this is space.com, but still I'd rather not do that. Ricardo, the question was, is the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter a NASA vehicle or a military one? I seem to recall something about the military sending a mapping orbiter. Yeah, there was actually a twin set of orbiters, too, that mapped everything, and then they crashed them into the moon. So, yeah, pretty cool. But it's a great question, I'll be honest with you. I don't remember. It might be a combination of both for all we know, right? Oh, yeah. I'm just looking at this thing here. What the hell is that? Way here in the corner. Pretty weird. But, yeah. Now this thing's going to back out. How much space debris is around orbit? Don't care. Oh, actually, we should. Here's what Neville Thompson put on there. You can see both of the photos. One's a little brightened up. We got one on this side, which is the same photo. You can see it right here. Right there. Really dark. You can see the blue tinge and everything else in the sky over here. And the background in this one. Yeah. Let me get my face out here so we can check these out a little better. Okay. Get rid of that. I looked at this piece here. You guys see this next to the wheel? Look at the way this thing comes up and goes down. It has these two-sided, like it's symmetrical. You see that? Right there. Right there at the foot of the wheel there. Does that look natural to you guys? I looked at that and I said, wow, what is that? What's going on there? Ricardo said there's either lots of wet slate lying around or shiny metal debris. Yeah, I've seen the same thing, and I was just like, seriously? What's up with that? Yeah, I thought this rock here was pretty crazy right there. Like I said, right at the wheel. Yeah. I don't. Stephen Wagner, he said, Chris, do you think anyone really believes they forgot to put the sound on? Maybe they heard something that is really mind-bending. Welcome to Mars Earthlings. Yeah, I agree. like I said, these guys are like the smartest people on the planet. I highly doubt that they went, oops, oh God, I totally forgot that. You can bet it was already in the programming when this thing was going to land. And like I said, I just think it's BS that they said, well, what they're going to do too is they got one on the body, on the side of the body, and one of them is on the mass cam. And, ooh, you're going to get to hear the actual laser hit the rock. And we care why? They said, oh, you'll be able to hear the hydraulic pump with the side one that's on the side of the body of the rover. Again, why do we care again? Nobody really cares. That's not being put there just for that. Come on. If you ask me, this funky looking rocks. Now, don't get me wrong. These could very well be rocks. This one here, again, question what it looks like. It's the way this thing slopes down and goes like this and comes down. And it's symmetrical. It does the same thing on that side. So I find it a little strange that it does that. See that other piece that's almost circular inside it, between the two? Got this V cutout right there. You guys see that? Look at this. It's got a V cutout. What's the chances of that? And, of course, the rover would just ride right over it. Mimi said, maybe when Mars was nuked, these pieces were swept into the crater. Or, well, that's good possibility because, again, they claimed that it was probably, if there was some kind of, well, there was a catastrophic event. So if there was like tidal waves of all kinds of stuff, it probably just washed it off land into this lake bed or whatever it may be. And you could bet there's a bunch of parts there and stuff there laying around. And this is the reason why we're seeing the things we're seeing. So to me, with this V-shaped cutout in this thing, and the symmetrical kind of piece, one on one side, one on the other, I don't think that's a simple rock. That's just me. Tony Gibb. Listening to the hydraulics is equal to going there to look at rocks. Exactly. Yawn. Walking and camping the outdoors. Nicholas Pappas. No sound turned on. That's like President Clinton saying, I didn't have sex with that woman. Daniel Webster said, yes, I believe they went underground when they were nuked, and they probably scared the government is immense. Where did it go? Just jumped on me here. Immensely, as Mars is a smaller planet, it would have been cooled millions of years earlier. Mm-hmm. Inhabit Mars. Yes, they go for a checklist. They rehearse and practice several times before the actual landing. They did not forget. There's a reason. Oh, no, absolutely. There's no way these guys put all this stuff together. And if you remember correctly, he had the guy that was actually in charge of the idea of doing this, said he got the idea from another friend of his. And so they said, yeah, it's a great idea. We're going to go ahead and do this. We tested it out. This is what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, yeah. Oh, funny us. We just forgot. Our bad. No. We know you guys know as well as I do. It's a bunch of crap. It was done purposely. Stephen Wagner said, I get a chuckle every time they say, that at that rock, billions and billions, just look at the rocks. Yeah, right. I look at these things all the time, and when I hear them say that, yeah, well, the geological makeup, whatever. Again, they're not there for that. The only thing I can think of now is that they are into these, like I said, if everything is washed off land and into the lake bed, down into a river, that's where they're going to find everything from all over that area. So let's suppose plant life, okay? Maybe there's fruits, vegetables, so on and so forth. It's being wiped from the land down into these lower areas, which would be the ocean, and now just nothing more than a crater. It would make sense you would find most of this there. What better place to find what this civilization ate? And it would make perfect sense to do that. That's why I think they're there. They already know about the structures. They already know about the technology they may have had. They know all about that. But if they're going to, they want to know what the actual civilization ate. Maybe it was very similar to Earth, so they can get an idea the composition of the civilization that lived there. Think about that. If they ate much like what we eat, well, then maybe they're a lot closer than they are to us, or we were them. Because a lot of people, say panspermia, the theory of panspermia. Some people say, well, we are from Mars. Some scientists are saying that now. Of course, they get ridiculed, but I believe they may be absolutely right. Maybe, and I've even speculated that maybe there was Mars and Earth at the same time, living at the same time. Maybe we traveled back and forth at some point, and then, later on, not long ago, took a hit. Who knows? Stephen Grilly, he said, but at the pole there's no ice. I assume you're talking about Mars. And yeah, there is actually ice at the North and South Pole. And it comes and goes just like our caps here on Earth. It is carbon ice, but it is also H2O underneath the carbon ice. They claimed that there was just carbon at one point, and I flagged BS a long time ago. And of course, they came out with like a year later saying, oh, no, there's actually ice under there now, because there's an actual water cycle in Gale Crater. And they also believe that, there's actual H2O in these ice caps as well. So there's definitely ice caps. Yep, definitely ice. Nicholas Pappas, he said, wonder if there's coal on Mars. God, I hope not. And I can just see us going now and destroying that friggin' planet too. The only way to go is just totally solar or wind. If they claim there's as much wind as they claim there is, then we should have no problem. I still say some of this looks like coral. What do you guys think? Some of these small bits and pieces, what do you guys say? It look like some kind of weird nest. Like a hornet or bee's nest. This looks like almost like a shell of something that's broken apart. Almost like that anyway. And of course it's at the bottom of the lake bed, so it could very well have been, obviously worn. Doesn't look smooth, but depending on how long it's been without water. This almost looks like it has a hollow look to it, like the side of it has been blown apart or something. See that? So I'm not sure that's a solid item there, or object. Oops. Pretty interesting here. This piece is going straight down. It's wide. Right there, I'll put it right in the middle of the screen. Right here, it's wide. It's going down. Got a left and right piece. It's wide, and it has like this T-shape to the part of that. Right there, that's pretty interesting. This little faded part, almost like this weird ring-type object with a circle in the front of it. Guys, see that? I'll put it right there in the middle. Right here. I'm just going to go run it with the cursor. Pretty interesting right there. But this is crap right here, guys. This is all fake right there. You can just see that just looking at it. Look at it. This is all fake, this sand and whatever else. But that doesn't look natural to me. Like I said, it's pretty wide. And actually, you can see it going like this in the back of it. See that? Something almost triangular in the back here. See this? Wonder what that is. See that? Right there. Looks triangular. Got this piece here sticking out of the ground. I don't know if you guys can see this. Right there. Not sure what that is. Like this black piece sticking right out of the dirt. And what looks like almost like a half square item. It's like a yellowish or light tans on the left-hand side of it. I don't know if that's all one unit or what that is, but whatever it is there. Let's see. Renee, you said that's the sources I was talking about. Oh, okay. But really interesting. I mean, some of these things in here, just you could be 50-50 about these things on there, right? In other words, you could say, well, I think they're still rocks. Okay. But some things you kind of, I don't know. You can't help but to look at it and say, I don't believe that for a moment. It's just too well. It's pretty darn good for nature building it, or making it rather, or natural occurring piece. Like I said, I don't know too many things that almost had this perfect V in it. You can see it's nice and flat at the bottom of that V, coming back up, and then it has these almost identical sides here, like sloping down, one on each side. Yeah, I don't know. This is the one we just did last. And for some reason, these things are never super clear. I hope when they start doing these pans, they start, clearing them up a little bit. Because it's like what I had to use there. They're not the clearest photos. He's just getting these straight off of NASA and then stitching them and maybe taking some of the color out, which is good. But you can see what they look like. They're not exactly the clearest things around, are they? But again, here's that item. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like pieces on there. Right there with a hole. Something right there sticking out of there. Not sure what to make of that. This piece right here. Not sure what to make of that. Kind of goes down like this. Almost looks like a 3D kind of thing going on. That piece there. With these little cutouts. Looks like something coming off the top of that. Not sure what to make of that either. Look at this weird thing on the side here. Yeah, let's think of that. Looks like it comes up, goes like this, goes over, back down. See that? And again, a lot of you guys seen this one right off the bat, but there is actually it still goes on right here. One line right here, the other line right here, like they totally have taken out. Now, if you guys seen the high res photo of this thing doesn't look anything like that. It doesn't really have it. It's barely in the ground. Yeah. Most of you have seen this one right here. That could be just a shadow, but some people say, well, maybe like a structure of some sort with some kind of opening there. There's the white pieces I showed you guys last time. 1, 2 on the side of it. Looks like another square type thing up here. See the way it's laid out? It's like you got the tan on top of the whited areas. Okay. Yeah, this is really horrible as far as clarity wise anyway. A hair bit better here. All these things up on the ridge. All of this right here is crap. These things are much taller. See how you can see the top of this jagged piece right here? Very, very, it's not really super noticeable, but it looks like it goes down all the way to here. See, this has got a line going straight up. These are put in there to give you this illusion that it's like a hill when these objects are literally standing up right here. So these are much bigger than you think. And of course, I got this frog-eyed lens, which is ridiculous. I actually straightened it out in Photoshop and got the thing almost laid out normal and flat, which is cool. But all this right here, this right here, that's to hide these things that are actually standing here. And the crazy thing about it, guys, it still goes back. I keep seeing what looks like, if these are truly intelligently made objects, then they're not very big. Because if you look at the Rover, keep in mind, you're looking at, and it shows it right here. Let me see. Well, he doesn't have it here. Let me see if he's got it on there. No. But anyway, these are the has cams. And they're under the deck of the Rover itself. Okay. So this is just under it. And this way it can actually see where it's going and stuff like that. Okay. So if you were standing here, right on the side of this Rover, your waist would be like right about here, where this thing is, this deck is. So now picture just walking, you could literally walk over this rock and probably just kick it right over. This is not very big. This area is not very big at all. So again, you could just go over and kick these rocks around like they're nothing. They're not big. You have to look at the Rover. I'm glad the Rover's in these photos because, again, if you see the size of the Rovers, and again, only to the top of the mast is 7 feet when it's completely, erected and put up. So, but here is about where your waist level is. So your head's way over this, of course. So picture your feet being over here. Just walk right over there. Just check these things out, handle them, pick them up, do whatever you got to do with them. So if these things are in fact, I don't know what they are, but if whatever they are, if they're intelligently made, they're not very big. Now, just imagine if these were structures in the background. Well, whatever's occupying them or whatever did is not very big. Or whatever they are, they're not very big as far as size-wise. Oops. Evil Soul 9G9, you said structures right straight across there. See, that's what I'm saying. If these are in fact structures, then these beings weren't very large at all. And that's just weird. And that's probably why they don't, if, let's say hypothetically, because we don't know, it's pure speculation, if they were that big, let's say they were not even a foot high, let's say, again, hypothetical, and if some of them were still alive, what would be the threat to our machines? You know, I mean, it'd be like hitting you with a pea shooter. I mean, unless they were super high tech, they're not going to be able to do anything to us or our machines. So can you imagine being that big and then see this Perseverance rover or the Curiosity rolling around in there? Clearly, you're not going to get in the way of that thing. There's nothing you can do to it. So unless they were high tech, like I said, they had actual lasers where they can burn this thing to pieces, yeah, they're pretty much screwed, if that's the case. Ricardo Petrazzi said, gosh, the real estate around the shores of Lake Jazeera must have been really nice. Some would tell Al Gore to piss off. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there was a nice civilization around there, trust me. Again, we'll be addressing that in the next video. Nicholas Pappas, he said, we wouldn't even know what they're used for. Absolutely not. The only thing we can, like I said, determine or try to determine is whether these things are A, natural or not. If they're not natural, you can take pop shots at it and try to see if you can figure it out, but it'd be nothing more than speculation, and that's all it can be. Like I said, if we could be there and just pick it up and handle it and, ooh, wow, and you really check it out, we'll never know. Linda Borum, you said, I've always thought our fairy tale creatures could have actually been Martian reality. Well, if they were that small, then yeah, you're absolutely correct. 6, you said, I've seen many very tiny people on Mars. A lot of people claim that, yeah. Gerald Lehane says, inches to 5 feet tall, Mars people. Well, it's kind of like here on Earth. I mean, we have like pygmy people. We have different people have indigenous people to certain islands. Some are taller, some are really, really short, so on and so forth. Now, I don't know about 5-inch people, but, you know, or 6-inch, but still, we vary in size here, right? I still find it interesting because you were just talking about that, Ricardo. You said, does anyone else see the contrail, chemtrail in the Martian sky? I'm not sure that I see that, but I always thought that was funny because you've got, again, we've got the shadow. It's coming, so the sun's behind the actual rover, and yet, why is this super bright over here? Why are we seeing that? Especially with this underneath, you know, the camera underneath here. Why are we seeing that shiny area way the heck over there? That was purposely put there. There you go, Sean. You said we should name all of these objects scattered about Mars Deco. And Habit Mod, you said, yeah, I can't wait to see a 1-foot-high Martian hanging off the Ingenuity for a ride as it takes off. That would be a great photo. That would be pretty freaky, too. Especially depending on what it looks like, right? Yeah. Dale Rogers, yup. Good eye. You said the rock with the half cylindrical groove is symmetrical. Yup. Absolutely. Jerry Lehane, you said Gulliver's Travels modeled on Mars because Swift predicted 2 moons for Mars 200 plus years ago. Probably alien insider info. Yeah, that could very well be. Yeah. Daniel, you said, I try to picture what these resorts must have looked like. A few things would be familiar. Many other things we probably wouldn't even know what they are. Yeah, I mean, again, it's all you can do, right? You can just say, okay, this is what I saw. This is what I've seen. What is it? Like I said, the only thing we got to determine, is it naturally occurring or is it intelligently made? We really don't have to know what these things are. It'd be great to know what they are. But a lot of these things show like they look like they're obviously intelligently made. And of course, there's a lot of rocks here too, of course. But, and some mechanical pieces look like they've been broken off or structural, whatever it may be. Yeah. Ryan Norton, what's going on? He said, personal opinion here. Don't think any tiny people can withhold harsh environment. The only way I would see they'd be able to handle it is that they lived underground, because you can get a constant temp there, right? So if they know the temperature's a certain temperature, I don't know if they peek out from underground or whatever it may be, and they can go, okay, it's a certain temperature. I can get out there. It's warm enough, because at night it would probably be super cold at night, or during the day it might get too hot, or it's perfect temp for them. Who knows? Maybe they don't come out until it gets warm enough and it's nice and sunny, and they come out and, run around, whatever they do. So it's very possible. I mean, even some of the harshest weather on this planet, we can live on it or live in the actual harsh environments, but you'd have to do it underground or in some kind of structure to keep it a constant temperature and whatever. So I think it can be done. H-1AV said, haven't seen anything fully intact on Mars yet. I know. That's what's crazy. All right, this is one we just looked at. Let me see something here. Yeah, this is the darker one here. And you can see this right here. This is like a lens flare. Almost looks like a rainbow right there. See it? Red, yellow, green, blue. Huh. Imagine that. It's probably, I'm sure, part of the camera. See it right there? It's on the other side as well. So it's probably light on the lens. Jason Petroli, what's going on? He said, hey, Chris, hope you're well. It's probably been an exciting week for you. Well, I've been very busy at work, but yeah, as far as this new stuff coming out, oh yeah, this is awesome. This is cool. In my experience, too, I don't believe any of these in the back are hills at all. I don't think they are. That doesn't mean that they're not. Well, this in the back here. Looks like some kind of round piece right there. See it? Check that out. That's pretty interesting right there. Looks like some kind of square piece here. Let's see. Now this one here is Joe's Art Alien TV. You can see where it's got the original here where he's stitched. He did a good job on this. So kudos to him for doing this. He has some things that have been mocked off. Again, these are his, not mine. See some kind of weird looking thing. There's a couple of things in here I've seen. I don't remember where this thing's at. Let me see if I can figure this out. Try to get a basic. I think it was right over in this area here. Some kind of weird things, just laying here in the dirt, partially buried or whatever it may be. I think I remember where these things were. I looked over it very, very briefly, and I could see some things in that. Now, when you see rocks like this, BS. I mean, look at that. You can see where it's got like a square corner on the bottom. You guys see that? Right there on the very bottom. Look at the way that thing is on the very tip and the very bottom, and yet we got this wannabe rock looking thing? Come on, guys. This is how you know fake rocks. That doesn't even look like a real rock. I mean, you got this thing in the back of it, just behind. Look at this thing. What is that? Look at I don't know if there's light going through the top of that. and showing up on the bottom. I'm not sure what to make of that. Some kind of weird shadows thing going on. Richard Bunt, what's going on? He said, do you know if we find a tree or a stump, then there was life? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, we've seen things that look like little trees and kind of weird things already in these photos. Not even surprised. Let me see here. I'll get that again. Right in the back here. You guys see this line right here? Almost looks like a smiley face. Right there. What is going on back there? Look at these stones standing up. We've got this line going from left to right. See that? What do you guys suppose that is? What's going on, Your Highness? Good to see you in there. Oh, let me see. James, a question for you, man. Do we really know that the temperature on Mars and oxygen level? If we do, who and what was the information given from? Honestly, I think about it, Chris, and what do you think? No, I think the again, I said this a while back, and I don't remember the names. There was a father rather and a son who were into these photos and stuff like that, and was checking over the data from these peer-reviewed papers and flagged absolute BS on the pressure of Mars. So just the pressure of Mars is BS. We've seen blue sky. That's a fact. I think there's life on this planet. I truly do. I think there's microbial life, and I think they're going to find that. I think they're going to find like indigenous organics. It might be, like I said, like a moss kind of thing. Trust me, they're going to find all this. It's just a question of time before they start spilling it. And I wish they would. Well, the temperature, they said it can get up to, like I said, I've seen before, Curiosity registered 104 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade. And it kind of makes sense, because if you don't have any atmosphere, there's nothing to shield or filter out the heat or the radiation. It makes perfect sense. It would explain why it has this huge pendulum swing, and when it gets nighttime, it gets extremely cold. That would explain that. Nothing to hold the temps in. I'm trying to remember where I seen this other piece. It was actually pretty cool. I think it was somewhere over here. I could be wrong. You got this other block here. I don't know if you guys have seen this. You've probably already seen it. Right there. Nice corner. Excuse me. Let me get a drink. Drink here. And no, that's not a pyramid. It looks like a corner of a block. I'm trying to figure out what that is, though, above it. You have what looks like, not sure what all this yellow crap is, but you got this smooth black pot at the very top. You guys see that? Perfect 90 degree. One direction, another direction. Again, I think that's more of a cube that's coming out of the ground, something square sticking out of the ground. Excuse me. Let's see what's in the background here. Yeah, it's hard to say what these things are. Looks like something square right there in the background. You see a corner of it right there anyway. Right there. No, it doesn't mean anything. It could just be the way the hillside's laid out. Here's this thing right here. If you wanted to let your pareidolia run wild a little bit, looks like a small track vehicle right here. The little tracks This right here, and it looks like it has this dome type thing on top of it. It looks rounded on this yellow body. Looks like a little tracked vehicle. Now, I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just having a little fun with it. But interesting enough, when you see that, you're kind of like, yeah, that doesn't look like just a simple rock laying on the ground. And multicolored rock, I guess. Brian on, come on, Chris, just rocks. Just ask NASA. Oh, yeah. Let me go all the way to the bottom here. I haven't... Yeah, you can get the, I just seen your message because everybody's saying, yeah, just ask Chris. Yeah, you can get it on, you can actually attach it to Google, the magnifier itself, and just put magnifier, and it's for Google itself, and it'll put it up on your top there, one of the tools you can use. And I, to be truthful, I had it for a little while, never used it, because I just zoom in, but then I said, well, I'll just start using it, because I know what's his name uses it too, Joe. And it reminded me because I was watching his video. I said, oh, my God, I totally forgot I even had this. So, yeah. But either way, I mean, it's cool. You can still even zoom in, too. But this is cool because it actually shows that one part that you want to share and you want to show. So it's kind of nice to be able to do that instead of saying, if you just zoom into everything, then they're seeing everything instead of what you're trying to point out. So it's pretty cool. Funky looking rock there. What do you guys think of that thing? Let me just move it over here and put it in the center of the screen. What is that? Somehow that doesn't look like some kind of weird rock. It looks like something else. Actually, I'm going to keep that off. Thank you, Your Highness. Much appreciated for your support, as always. Keep it up. Oh, yeah. And one. And one. Oh, I'm looking at the little pear guy exercising. Again, much appreciated. Thank you very much. Yeah, Brian Owens, it looks like blurred crap underneath your circle. Exactly. It's just, look at this. Absolute fake. That thing that's just weird to me, that thing there on the left. We got this other rock here. Look at these pieces right down back here. Nice smooth-faced rock. Looks like it's got a nice edge to it on the top, on the side of it. See that? Where's this other one, too? Look at this thing. Real kind of weird, like U-shape, upside-down U-shape kind of thing going on. Let's move this right in the middle here. Might be able to even zoom in a hair bit, too, on top of that. And do another magnify on that. See that right there? It's kind of got that shape to it, and it has this dark circle. I don't know if that's a circle or if it's just a shadowing from the very edge of that thing coming down. But you can see the sun's actually coming from the right to the left. See this rock here? See this where the sun the shade is? So that's a possibility. It could be coming from the edge of that. Let's see. There were some other things, too. Let me go way on the other side of this. This is pretty cool. This is interesting, and I think Joe showed this, which was really cool. This right here. There's no way this is a mound. This is a structure. Look at this. You got a straight line coming down, at least holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's right in this area. Has these straight pieces on the side, right? What got me is the front of it. Look at the way this thing has. This piece comes off, guys. This is cool. Let me do this. Let me put it more in the center. And then go like this. Check this out. Look at this thing. It kind of has this like curved piece. Comes straight down. Goes over to the bottom. And goes back up the other side. And has a curve too. You guys see that? Let me go in a little bit further. Bring it down here. Whoops. Look at it. comes down, goes across, goes back up, and you can literally see it going off the other side to the back. So this thing has equal sides to it. No way is that. And comes down, has this curved piece right here. Comes down, goes across, goes back up, and curves out the other way. Yep. Yeah, no way is that that's natural. Nope. Almost looks like this triangular stone here on the ground. A little dock piece on it. Something else right there. Hey, look, my camera. That's where that went. You can see the lens right there, and there's a camera. No, I'm kidding. I don't... Thank you, Mr. Ricardo Petrazzi. Much appreciated, sir. Behind the scenes. Take 5. Huh. Much appreciated. Robert Morgan, yes, you're right. You said it looked like a clamshell kind of thing, yeah. Let me see. Mimi, you're saying look at this one here in the back? Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, it kind of looks like this weird, almost like a yurt kind of thing, kind of shape. It's like rounded, if you will, at the top. Not sure what that is. I think that's the one you're talking about right there. Look at this piece way up here in the back. Look at this. It has an outline going like this here. Actually, it almost circles around to the top, too, right there. You see it? See the line? That's pretty cool. Let me see. Yeah, I just don't believe this for a moment that this is all natural, especially that right there. There's no way. Then you get this other piece here, right here. You only see in the very tips. What they're doing is they're blending these all in. I can tell you right now, these are all individual. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all of these things might have been structures. At least this one here shows it. It's got promise it probably was at one time. Right there. You can see that thing just weird stuff, man. Okay. And you can see where he's actually circled up here as well. Right there. Whoops. Let me do this. Okay. Might clear that up a little bit too. You try to zoom in too much and it makes the picture actually look like crap. So you don't want to do that. You got these other blocks here. Looks like straight, or like a square piece of slate or something like that right there. It's got a couple little ridges in it right there. 1, 2. Nice straight edge. See, it kind of goes down a little bit, straight across, down a little bit again. Right there. Yeah. Yeah, these are no way of these. I think these are all structured. They just blend this all in to make it look like it's one big mountain ridge. I don't think that's the case at all. That's right back. If you look really carefully, you can see right there there's some kind of piece coming right out. Almost looks like a little pipe. You guys see that? Right there. It's got this rounded piece. Right here. There's something coming right out of the center of this. Right there. I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that for a second. Very, very faint lines, but it's there. Whatever that is. Let me see. What is this thing over here? Let's have a look over here. Get it more in the middle. Not sure what to make of that. Looks like this is surrounding, this gray piece is surrounding this white piece. You guys see that? That's pretty interesting. Right there. It's kind of going like this. Kind of oval-shaped gray piece going around this white piece. Whitebeard Sky Daddy says, I haven't believed the atmosphere pressure lies since I saw big white fluffy clouds in the Indian orbiter photo. NASA and ESA photos scrubbed them out. 0.7 millibars can't sustain that. At least that's from my understanding, they can't. That's why I said, it's as far as the atmosphere, it's, what they're saying is an absolute BS. Let me see. This looks pretty interesting. This little rock. I mean, it might be anything, but let's see. Right here, it's almost like there's like a split in this little stone or whatever that is. Right there. See that? Let me see here. Yeah, right here. Not sure what to make of these things. Almost like straight pieces there. This is one of the things I was looking at too. This is pretty interesting. A lot of people miss a lot of these little things. This right here, where did it go? Right here. Look at this this stone right here. It's like flat. Looks like it's got a corner to it. It looks like almost like this shape in the center of it. You guys see that? Right there. I'll put it right in the center of the circle. It looks to have some kind of shape in it, and it looks like it's very shiny rock or something, and has that corner to it. And then just below that, look at this. This gray piece or black right here. And look at the way it's shaped. Like it's in the ground, like buried into the ground, right there. Right there, they got that. And part of it looks like all we're seeing is part of this thing. So whatever these things are, that, again, it looks like everything's been washed into here and it's just settled in here. So half of the things are like sitting in mud and some of it's not. Some of it's just on the surface, some are not. So I don't know. Bushcore, you're right about this. It would be depressing if we were the most advanced life form out there. Yeah, you got that right. Something tells me absolutely not. All right, Steven. Good seeing you in there. Steven Grilly's taking off. Got to run, guys. Be well, everyone. One love. Thanks, Chris. You're welcome. You're awesome. And you're welcome. Oh, appreciate it, Steven. Have yourself a good night and a good weekend there, right? Lee Herring, you said the sky in this photo actually has a very light blue hue to it. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Leonard Shellhammer, thank you very much for your support. It is appreciated. And we're still sweating. Keep it up. And 1, and 2, and 3. Oh, I appreciate it. Let me see. Lee Herring says this area is almost like the guts of a planet all would have flowed this way. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. And I think that's the reason why they're going there, because a lot of this would have flowed into this this lake bed, if you will. You see, I mean, rocks are one thing, but a lot of these things look like just busted up parts. And you know this thing is not very, here's the antenna right here, the UHF, right there. And your head is actually over that, or just the equivalent to it. So you can imagine just walking over to these things, just picking them up with your hands, checking them out. And it would make sense if you were here, because like I said, I'm almost positive the guy's face, one of the technicians working on it, was right about here, or a little higher. His head was a little higher than this UHF antenna. Okay, so if he's standing here, check it out. Just walk over to these structures. If they are, in fact, structures, which that one indeed looks like one, just walk right over there. Individual structures. It's not really far-fetched. Really is not. And the same thing was in Gale Crater. They had all these separate... Here's the other one I was looking for. Here it is. Nobody's seeing this one here. Look at that one. Looks like some kind of weird... You can see the back of it here coming up, going across. Look at the face of this thing. Almost has like a smooth archway to it. Right there. Looks like a doorway to it. You guys seeing the same thing, or you guys seeing something different? Because on the side here, it almost looks like there's steps, like these white steps. See right there? 1, 2. Goes up like this. Kind of does that there. You guys see that? That, to me, looks almost structural. Mimi React, she said all these buttes are underground homes. Well, above, actually, but who knows if parts of them don't go underground, right? I think a lot of these things are, in fact, built into. That's what I think. Leslie Warren, you said, hi, hey, I'm here, Chris. I've been cut off internet now, not missed you all, thank goodness. Oh, no, good to have you in there. And people have been having a lot of problems with their internet and everything else, going crazy, especially around here. Some of the places over here, since we had the ice storms and everything, look like a war zone. Absolutely insane. Dale Rogers said, yes, they lived under crude cover in the end. Well, I mean, they might have had like a combination of what we have here, right? We have underground, we have above ground. Of course, most is above ground. But a lot of these places now, there's like, we've talked about this before, where there's a lot of, there's like highways that are like hundreds and hundreds of miles from like West Coast to East Coast. There's so much there. I'm not sure what to make of this trash right here in the back. It's almost like, I don't know if they put something there to, see this way in the back? I don't know if that's stuff that's eroded or been blown off the side of this other so-called hill, or if it's something they put there to try to mess with your eyeball. See that? I'm going to go from left to right here. I don't know. Not sure what to make of that. There's some interesting little rocks here. What are these? Almost triangular shaped. Looks like it's got little openings on it. I'm not sure what to make of that. Yeah, I wish I could, H-Toss. You said, I wish you all could have this Florida weather, 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Yep. You know, spring's slowly creeping in over here, which is good. This weekend it's supposed to be, I think Monday is supposed to be like 60, 65 degrees. So we're getting up there. She's slowly creeping in. James Cragen, thank you very, very much for your support, man. Do appreciate you, as always. Chris, in respect to what you have to work on from NASA images, I want to say, in all honesty, it's a travesty in this day and age of the technology and photo imagery that you have just scraps to work your magic on. Yeah, exactly. NASA, come on. Well, you know, again, we can only try to pull out what we see, right? And barely at that. And sometimes you can get lucky and find stuff that's in there, and you just go, oh, okay. Sometimes they mess up and you find something even better, which is cool. Let me see. Here's another one here. He circled. Looks like another long butte. Has a flat top. I think he mentioned this because I watched his video. Really good video. Joe's. If you haven't checked it out, check out Art Alien TV. Check his stuff out. A little like this nice elongated, almost like a boomerang shaped rock. Gotta love that. Right there. Nice. Not sure what to make of this thing. If you guys have seen his video, then you've seen this. This is pretty weird. Not sure, again, what to make of that. This is interesting. I saw this one here, too. This is cool. And they almost like they did it purposely, because you can see this section in the middle of this rock. Check this out. Slopes down, right? Drops down, straight down on the left. Goes across the bottom. Maybe he's part of something bigger, because it looks like he goes into the sand. Comes up on the right. slopes up on the right, has this dip or this U-shaped cutout in this rock. See that? Now, what are the chances of that happening naturally? Really? I don't think so. Joe Night Fury says, yes, I saw this on Alien TV yesterday. Yeah, I had to look at his because everybody's jumping on this, right? Like Jean, Joe, a lot of people are on these, so which is great. Some of the things he didn't point out because you can clearly see he didn't do that on this. But to me, that screams right there, not natural. This is definitely intelligently made. Yep. Hey, Saucy said, if this is the best we can do with photography from Mars, I'll eat my pre-flood artifact that Chris has seen. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I can only imagine the photos that they literally take from these. Oh, my God. And like I said, because they said, they get, with the cameras they have, they can take unprecedented details and everything else. Yeah. It's like, well, I'd really love to see the same thing you guys are seeing. It'd be great. Love to see it. And yet we don't. But see, I find that really interesting, that one there. That's one of the things that clearly is not natural. Right there. No way. There's some other little pieces back here, but they're just not clear enough to see them. That's the problem. Or get more detail out of them. That's what kind of sucks about that, Let me see here. Nice smooth rock. Has something like a rounded piece to accommodate. See that? Not sure what to make of that. Brian Norton, thank you very much for your support, man. Do appreciate you. He said, wow, more blurry crap. Truly enjoy helping out the channel when I can. Love looking forward to my Mars family and President of Mars, Christopher. Oh, I don't know about the president part, but thank you very much. Yeah, much appreciated, man. Yeah, and the sad thing about it is, like I said, these were stitched together from the NASA site. So this wasn't Joe doing something goofy out of this. This is something that was on the site. He stitched them together, and there you go. So, this is, you got to make do with what you got. But like I said, then they come out with these crystal clear photos. You're like, wow, look at that. That is beautiful. It's not. It's been the information has been so redacted. You can look at these right now, even though they're blurry, and see something like that big stone. We've seen that big dip and cut out in the center of it. You wouldn't see that in the very pristine photos. You would not see it. Why? It should be identical. Well, within reason, because they'll say if it's low res, your eyes can play tricks on you. To a certain degree, yes. But that was pretty clear, even though it's got often a blurry background. That was pretty clear. So I'm not so sure of all that. You just got to get a photo that's not completely crap. Like, this is blurry. If you guys would have just sharpened these up before in other words, sharpen each photo and then put the pan together, that would be pretty good. You get to see a whole lot more. What is this right here? Looks like a rock with some kind of round circle on the side of it. Right here. Some kind of triangular piece. What do you guys think of that? Right there. Supposedly this rock, these two shiny pieces, but look at this. Right on the side. Right there. What do you guys think of that? That's a rock. And yet, this is on the side of it. Didn't see that earlier, because you can see the other piece with that pointed, like a corner of a block or something right to the left of there. Robert Morgan, great question. He said, what's going to happen if they hear something that they don't expect? I know that they won't release it to us, but yeah, great point. Who knows? I mean, I'm sure they got to be aware that there's something alive on that planet, whether it's insects, something flying, anything that flies, and they'll hear it. Nicholas Pappas, he said, and there's no ruins on Mars. You have to be an idiot to not see that stuff. Well, I mean, like I said, just take your time. Look it over. Sometimes all you're going to see is just rocks and just blurred out garbage and nothing more to see. And then if you take a real close look, like, I'm not sure what the heck this kind of rock this is. Has this little cutout or shadow or something to it right there. Not sure what that is. More debris that's made to look like rocks. Oh, there's a giant crocodile head right there. No, I'm kidding. Looks like it's got the snout and the 2 eyes. It's good to have fun, guys. You got to have fun with it at some point, right? Not sure what he's got circled here. I don't know. There's so much to see in these pans, man. It's just, everybody's doing these pans, which is like, I give them props to doing that. Because at least you get to see X amount of photos in one pan. So that's cool to be able to do that. So, my hat goes off for Joe for doing this. You get this piece right here. And it looks like a square box in the back of that. See that right there? Just to the back of it. And this thing's coming straight out of it. You guys see that? It looks like a square box type thing. And then this piece right there. What are you guys seeing there? Yeah, News Drifter. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Had that. I know what you're talking about. We've moved on now, but yeah, that small. It's like a block. It's not really a pyramid per se. It looks like a block with the corner of it hanging out or sticking out, but yeah. Sean, I only hope so. You said maybe they will give us something special to look at soon, especially with the disclosure being in the news recently. It would be nice. John J. April Fool's, LOL. I don't think so. Anything can happen, I guess. We'll see. You taking off 6? If you are, good to see you in there. I'm glad you stopped in, and as always, glad you jumped in there. Evil Soul 9G9 says, more eyes on Mars than there ever was in the past month. It's great. Well, and I know NASA's aware of these people, people like myself and everybody else is doing these. These guys are going to be all over these things. And we're going to be. Common sense would tell you that. You know it's going to happen. And of course, that area there. Like I said, do you see how it looks like just a bunch of crap here? When I showed the photo I had, it looked like some kind of weird rectangular piece sitting in here. Suddenly now, it's not there anymore. Even the back of this, it doesn't have the lines in there like I showed in the picture that I have. So, again, they change it up a little bit, and it seems to change from photo to photo. Somebody was talking about this, where it has these pieces. Somebody, speculated, well, maybe it's from the actual crane or whatever it may be. Had come apart and it's fallen. Now, it looks like it's partially in the dirt. I don't believe that's part of it. But I do see, it looks more like a debris field than anything. You can see that. This piece here, I'm not sure what to make of that. Right there. Going like that there. See that? Not sure what to make of that. Joe said something about it looks like a wall here, and it does actually look like that. I agree with him. But if you look carefully, there's something right there. There's like a partially round piece inside here. See that? So I'm wondering if it's a wall or not, or if this is something painted over said object or objects. Because look at this, something right here. It's a lighter color sitting right on the side. But look, again, right there. I'm going to try to put this in the middle of the screen here. I'm not so sure this is actually real. I think it's been something that's been right there. You can just see the half round piece, and it's within this this brown area, this wall type thing. Right there, there's these small pieces, and it's in the wall. So I'm wondering if that's not a fake wall and it's something they just drew over something much larger, and it's not a wall at all, it's something else. Something right here. Look at the way this thing is on the ground. See it right here? There's a stop to it right there. Looks like it keeps going on maybe a little bit right there, but check this out. Right there. Looks to have some kind of darker design or something in there. There's a line right there to it. Something right here that's white. A couple things in the background. Yeah, this may be there to fool the eyes, because they'd rather make something looks like a structure than actually showing you the real deal, meaning what's really there. And by the way this thing looks, I'm going to go back down to this here. From the way this thing looks in the back, I'm going to say that's something, there's something rounded right there, and you can see that. Let me bring it down over here a little bit. And maybe I'll bring this back up. Again, I can see that white piece, or grayish piece, right there. It's rounded, it's got a dark center. This right here, I'm not sure what to make of that, but it looks like it's got some kind of either light-colored piece on it, or it's like reflective, one of the two. Right there. Doesn't look like a rock to me. Not sure. This is all crap right here. All of this right here, this mess. I showed that in my video. It's complete garbage. There's this other thing sticking out. Not sure what that is. Just come right out of the ground, right there. Again, look at this crap in the background. That's all manipulation. That's complete crap. I was looking at this too. I don't know what this mess is here. Look at this. Look at the little pieces. Even though it's blurry, look at the way this thing actually has this darker area right here. Something appears to be going across this oval dark area. See that right there? Look at this piece going straight across from side to side of that thing. Something tells me, Let me get this back in the middle here. Back in the middle with you. Oh, right here. See that right there? The cross member piece? Something right here. Almost this. It looks like something's rounded right there. Yeah. I'm not so sure that's natural either, guys. Leslie Warren says, I found medals in colors of yellow too, Chris. So much, Chris. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just some of the things that are in here. If you take a look at these, and of course, if you guys haven't gotten a pan from him, I'll leave the link to it in here. So we'll check that out. See, what is this other thing here? These other shapes in this hillside, too. I don't believe for a minute this is a hillside at all. Like I said, I'm seeing things here that's like what look like parts and stuff like that. Let me just back this up just a little bit. We don't want it too, because we won't be able to really see it. Even magnified, it won't be really that. You can see a little, maybe a little better. It's smaller, but just a hair bit clearer. Huh, Mimi. Chris, you have a nice singing voice. I don't know about that. Probably get the dogs all howling and everything else. But, you know. Let me see here. Yeah, every time I see stuff like this, rocks are one thing. You can see a bunch of rocks in there. I don't care. Rocks, you look over rocks all day long because they're rocks. But when you look at these here, again, there's that other piece that looks almost like a triangular piece in the center of this reflective piece. I've showed you these earlier. There's one here, the darker piece, and this one here, there's more shiny piece at the top. I see a debris field. That's what I see here, guys. I don't see... I see a lot of debris on the bottom of this floor, this lake or whatever this was. You got this rectangular white box type thing going on right there. A lot of stuff is being missed in these photos. Kind of odd the way those things look. The rocks are all up against each other there. Not sure what that is. 09ML Daniel, the horizon has an obvious band of obfuscation. Oh, yeah. Even though it has this kind of, bluish kind of hue to it, it's still crap. I mean, you could just tell you could just see how crisp the mountains are. Like, they shouldn't be like that crisp. I don't think so anyway. It just doesn't look right. There's a little block in the ground here. Look at that thing. Let me go back there. Let me see something here. Yeah, right there. Yep, crazy stuff here, guys. Something tells me this object here has been they're messing with people as far as I've seen things that looks more like a structure than anything. When I say structure, I mean something inside it because it had like white pieces here. It had almost looked like an opening in the photo I had. Now you can see something right here going across it as a straight line. See that? And then it fades off into this top of this thing, or you can just see like there is something straight right there going inside, and it suddenly stops. This is manipulation right here, all of this. I think this is actually a structure of some sort. Maybe whatever this was, and this is the debris field to it. Is that a possibility? Some of these whiter pieces could be actually more metal than it is stone, and this is what's blowing the pieces off of this thing. And then when you look at this piece over here, that may be part of it too. What do you guys think on that? Master Catnip, he said, hey, Chris, all of the videos and photos shown by all of the rovers are debris fields. NASA will not send billion-dollar rovers just for rocks. Oh, I totally agree. I've been saying that for years. They're not going to go out of their way to do that. It's like yourself. If you're going to invest in something because you believe it's going to benefit you or reward you in some way, you're going to make the investment. If you just go, I don't see any reason to do that. It's like going to a junkyard and buying a burnt-out car that has no motor, transmission, got nothing in it. It's not worth the diddly. And you're going to go in there and say, oh, by the way, the guy says, I'd like to get $6,000 for it. And of course, you look at him like he's stoned and say, yeah, you'll be all right. So, you just would not make the effort nor spend that kind of money if it didn't, somehow benefit you or you get a reward somehow from it. So, me, clearly, I just think that it's a bunch of crap. They're spending this money for good reason. Ms. Heard, you said, it's blatantly obvious that every space agency on Earth is lying to and deceiving us. Has been and will continue to always do so. No full disclosure will ever come about, in my opinion. I don't think it will full disclosure, but I think it will like drip, drip, drip all along the years. To finally, they finally admit to it. or just like a slow drip thing till you finally put it together yourself, and then you go, of course you can figure it out. I think we've already halfway on that path, or already on that path. We already know the deal and know what they're doing here. So as far as I'm concerned, I think we've got the answers to it. But I'd like to get more and more of this, to be honest with you. More transparency, more transparency. And we don't mean transparent rocks either. Not sure what this is here. It's a light piece right here. Just take a quick and well, not quick look, but take a really good look. I'm not sure what the heck that is. It's right here coming on. It's got two different colors. It's like this is more of a white. Almost looks like it has a dark circle in the center of it. Has like almost like a pinkish or reddish color right there on the side of it. You guys see that? That's funky looking. Now the white piece right here. I'm convinced whatever that thing was on the left-hand side has exploded. And this is the debris field from it. Now, the question is this inside the lake bed? And if it is, what the heck are structures doing in it? You got to ask yourself that question, right? Thank you for your support, Master Catnip. I do appreciate it. You said, thanks for all that you do in exposing the hidden things NASA and the world refuses to expose, Chris. Well, I do appreciate that. Again, thank you for your support. Here's the thing. I mean, again, when I look at these photos, especially now, right? Because it's not like we're rehashing them. These are all new for the very first time. So, which is cool. And you never know what you're going to find in these. And like I said, the next one coming up, what I'm going to show you guys, never thought in a million years I'd see what's in this photo. Just cool stuff. So sometimes it's the littlest things, but is it really little? And when you see with the photo I'm going to show you, you're just going to be like, oh, those are quite large. So yeah. Yeah, look at these pieces, man. It just... You know, like I said, boulders and rocks, you'd expect to see boulders and rocks. But you see what looks like twisted metal, different color pieces. You see all these weird things that just... Maybe it's amongst rocks, but it's not all rocks. What is this here? Whoops. Kind of interesting little piece sitting right there. Joe Nightfury, he said, and speaking of pyramids, that Mesa structure suddenly reminded me of the Teotihuacan pyramid. Yeah, exactly. It kind of does have that kind of shape to it, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Like I said, some of the weird things in here, just you go, is that a rock? That's what you got to determine. It's not so much what it is actually, but is it a rock? Is it natural or is it non-natural? And then the other question is, what in the F is it doing on Mars? That's what you got to determine. This thing was pretty interesting. I think Jean talked about this, and I believe Joe did as well. That's really interesting. That was well spotted by these guys. I'm not sure which one seen it first. It might have been Joe. Can't be sure. I don't want to, misspeak there, meaning I don't know which one, to be honest with you, really came up with it first. So either way, kudos to both of them for actually mentioning this. So basically, it's a stone penguin. No, I'm kidding. I don't believe... there's something here that's like appendages sticking out this side. This one's clear. And maybe something really small sticking out the other side. You guys see that? So I don't know if this is... It almost like you can almost see through this very top quarter piece right here. Like, in other words, they just try to make this look like just a tall rock. And clearly, that doesn't look like a rock to me. Not sure what to make of that. Mimi, you said you're taking off here. Thank you for streaming. Good night, everybody. Sleep well and stay safe. All right, Mimi, thanks for joining us as well, as you always do, and your support. Much love to you. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. Be safe, and we'll see you soon. We'll be jumping off this as well pretty soon. Gonna be jumping off this as well. Got to get some things done. He said, JR Harge, what's going on? I haven't seen you. He said, what's up, Chris? Glad I could make it to the Hangout. Yeah, you're just about the tail end of it. We usually go a little bit longer, but I'm going to try to get some more of these videos together for you guys. So, I like that one. Jabba the Hutt. Gumby. It's Gummy. Damn it. Jason Bertelli, great. That's a good, interesting comment. You said my money's on this. Used to be a nuclear power plant. It would explain why it's in the lake, or at least on the lakeside, right? Yeah, it would make sense. Yeah. Here's some other funky looking rocks. Oh yeah. There's a lot of stuff to here to see, guys. This is that one when they showed the landing. And by the way, guys, if you notice there's a blue hue to this, you guys can see that, right? Let me do this. I want to shut that off because I don't need... They're showing it right here on the very bottom of the screen. They're showing the actual heat shield coming off. And you can see that now. That's the heat shield. Bye-bye. And it's pretty funny how this one happens to be complete crap. Because I actually taken this photo and tried to see if I can, like I took a snapshot of this video to see if I can bring anything out of this particular area. And you just can't. It's almost like they really turned down the resolution for this because this should be super clear. Maybe not really super clear, but clearer than it is, right? So... It's here. Thank you very much for your support. As always, he said, thank you, Chris, for again exposing NASA's obscene worldwide deception. Yeah, I mean, I think the more we get into this, I think we're going to be really, really surprised what we're going to find here. One of them is, to me, is like a major jump in finding these things, which really here. So it's pretty much confirming that there's a civilization here. And then, of course, now we just have to, I mean, we're seeing what looks like a blown apart piece here. So, or at least not on this particular, but on that would look like that structure thing. And I believe it, whatever it was, is blown to pieces and it's just laying all over the ground. So, so that kind of goes into what I'm going to show in my next video. Nice aerial view. So you guys can stay tuned for that. Pretty cool. I mean, this is a cool video. I like the way it is. And it's showing it right there. Now it's just, you can see right now it just dropped. Right now, I just dropped the crane. You can see it on the very bottom of the video here. You get the parachute, that right there. Then you get the crane itself just detached. Because this video is kind of being stupid because I think it's the computer doing this right now. I'm really taxing the hell out of this thing. You can see it coming down. You can see it right there on the very low screen. You see it. It's rockets are going right now. And it should be dropping. It's actually dropping the rover. And of course, you see the jets right there, just pushing it sand aside. There it goes. Here goes the crane. It's going to detach. It hasn't dropped it yet. There's Perseverance. This is the reason why you can see the wind blowing from every direction, because you can see the rockets are on all sides of Perseverance, and this is the reason why you're seeing what you're seeing. And there it goes. Funny about it, like I said, I always thought maybe they would try to land this thing as opposed to crashing the darn thing. It really doesn't make much sense. Again, Miss Here, thank you very much. Appreciate you. James Cragen, same back to you as always, brother. Appreciate your support. You said, Chris, my eyes are squint from the NASA blur, and I'm sick of the crap that the CGI boys give us. So here's €1 for a cloth of... There you go. There you go. These guys need it bad. Well, the funny thing about it is, can you imagine just being one of these CGI guys? Okay, so it's on your computer and you're looking at what's there and you go, man, I got to try to figure out how to cover this. So these guys are seeing this stuff. So they're probably sworn to secrecy and everything else, and like, oh, whatever you do, don't, you can't say nothing to anybody. This is what it is, and blah 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 blah. And you're just like, wow. And you have the duty, or your job is to cover this stuff up. And then of course they pass it on to the next guy. He does his bit to it, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's crazy. I would love to even get a glance at these things, let alone be able to mess with them, right? Have to cover them up. That must suck. Robert Morgan, you sent me a gift, huh? Appreciate you. Appreciate your support. He says, Chris, I'm sending you a present on my birthday. Well, happy birthday. I'm not sure how old you are, but happy birthday to you. That's awesome. Mine won't be until July, but, and I'll be 108, so I don't think I look pretty good for 108. Kidding, of course. But again, thank you for your support. Much appreciated, Robert. This thing keeps jumping. I hate when it does this. Nicholas Poppy said electromagnetic weapons. Well, it's hard to tell what happened there, but clearly there was 2 nuclear explosions. We know that for a fact. And if there was a catastrophic event other than that, then that would explain a lot of that. Yeah, just crazy stuff. Oh, yeah. We are going to get out of here, guys. I'm going to jump on off this. Again, a really good hangout. And I wanted to bring more of this. But we're going to be going over a lot more of this because we have so much more photos. And I'm hoping that what's the term we want to use? The CGI gods that'll give us some love there and throw us a bone every now and then. Give some decent stuff. It's supposed to be good photos. But yet they're not as clear as they should be. As clearly we can see that. So let's just hope that it is good, and we'll see what happens there, right? Let's just hope and pray. Let's see. Okay. Yep, been a cool night, guys. I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Let me do this. Oh, there we are. Okay. But anyway, guys, we're going to jump on off this. We've got some more videos to actually get done for you guys. I'm going to do a little editing here and there, get some stuff done. So, again, it's always great to hang out with you guys. Great hangout, as always. Love the support. You guys are awesome. I don't care. It's verbal, monetary, doesn't matter. Support to me is support. And it's been great that you guys have been doing this. Who just said that? Guys, hit that thumbs up. Wham! Before you leave. So... like I said, much love to you guys. I hope everybody has a great weekend because, I'm going to do the same, or try to. I got to work tomorrow, but I always work every Saturday. But once we're out of there, we're going to relax for the weekend, get some more of these kicked out for you guys. There's a lot more videos to sort through and a lot more photos to sort through. So there's going to be many to look at. So if you don't see a video after this next one I'm going to try my best to really sort through these things and see what they got because they're adding them almost every day. So... we definitely want to check them out and find the best ones we can for you guys. So like I said, once the next one's coming out, sit tight. We'll definitely have some more coming out, no doubt. Anyway, guys, thanks for being here. Great hangout. As always, you guys are the best. And like I said, let me just see. Oh, Lionheart, I didn't even see you jump in there. Good to see you in there. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Can't say it enough. Great hangout, as always. Great bunch of people. It's like family here, and we all get to discuss all this stuff, so it's just awesome. Anyway, guys, like I said, be safe. Have a great weekend. It's supposed to be warming up. Hopefully it will. And, of course, it's going to rain like crap here on and off for the weekend, but I'll deal with that. Temperatures are getting warmer. We're glad. Anyway, guys, be safe, be cool, and I will see you soon. Peace.